Which Sandford team did Palmerston player Alwyn Davey play for? Glenelg, Norwood or South Adelaide?
I think it was, no, South Adelaide.
South Adelaide.
There you go.
Which CAFL team did Adrian McAdam play juniors and senior football for? Pioneers, South Alice or Rovers?
Pioneers.
Rovers?
South Alice.
Phone a friend.
How many times did Michael Long play Australia Day representative matches for the NT? 5, 6 or 7?
6.
5.
5. Where in the NT was Darwin and West Perth Billy Dempsey born? Catherine, Larimar or Burton?
Catherine.
Burton.
Are you my phone a friend?
Quick,
Here we go.
Which AFL player was known? Oh, they're ready to go. Just call us in when we're ready. Rick, just play the opener.
Almost. Just take your time if you want to, Charlie, just to do a bit of the intro and whatever. Yeah.
You know, one of the worst things is Div 1 are playing in half an hour, our boys. So two.
Hello and a big welcome to Marara Stadium in Darwin. Round 4 of the NTFL, the match in front of us. Palmerston Magpies to take on Wanderers. Palmerston in 4th position, 2 wins and a loss, 96% their percentage, pretty healthy, and Wanderers in 6th position, 1 win and 2 losses. The Eagles with an ordinary percentage of 58%. So this journey for Palmerston, they lost in round 1 to Tars by 72 points, beat Tiwi by 21 and then turned it around in round 3 with an incredible 41-point demolition of the Darwin Buffaloes. And for Wanderers, they had a good win against Southern Districts to get the season underway, were beaten by 48 points by St Mary's and then really looked awful last week in round 3 against the Tigers and lost by 74 points. It should be a terrific match because Palmerston are expecting Eddie Betts to be sitting out there in lockdown, in quarantine, probably watching the streaming of this. Eddie, hello, if you're there, welcome to the territory. Joining me, our commentary team for this game as it just got underway. Tash Medbury, hello.
Hey, Charlie.
And Dominic McCormack. Dom, hello.
G'day, Charlie. How you going?
Let's pick it up and go with it. It's just underway.
On centre wing, Wanderers with the ball in hand. Palmerston, the early score on the board, 1 behind to Daniel Stafford. Ball kicked up towards half forward now for the Eagles. An opportunity here. Nice little handball flicked out here to Stanley Tipalora. Steps inside, goes with the outside of the right boot. It's a horrible high, up and under. Falls in the left forward pocket, but in fact out of bounds on the full. So the first free kick.
It was the drop that caused the trouble. He dropped it, but it didn't hit on the outside of his boot. It went straight ahead.
Bit of a mongrel breeze out there as well. It's swirling.
And Tash, we can tell that too this afternoon because you got your flags back.
The flags back. I put in a protest after last week.
Oh, did you make sure we got those flags? Good on you.
Palmerston now bringing the ball back into play as a result of that free kick. Nice play too. A little kick up towards Chris Williams at left half back. Chris Williams in a wrestle there with Jared Erlinson. He's over the footy. Erlinson, the umpire, crosses his arms and says, I will have it. Right half forward here for the Eagles grandstand side. Eagles kicking to the airport end in this first quarter. Palmerston Magpies going to the Michael Long centre end.
So Rowbottom into ruck. Started well for the Maggies, Rowbottom. So up and under kick into the forward 50 for Wanderers. Underneath it, Shillabeer. Gets it back now. That's Shillabeer now. Just kicks it with the left boot. He's got a player all by himself and O'Connell. O'Connell picks it up, takes it around 2 and kicks the goal. Well done, Bo O'Connell. He danced around 2 Magpie defenders and he kicks the first goal of the game. And they're on the board, the Muck Mucks, and Wow, just show his flashy brilliance. He's in the midfield, Charlie. He ran all the way down there. Shillabee has seen him in the midfield, kicked it on the left, got it through there, and he danced around too easily in the end there to kick that goal.
Got a horrible bounce. He looked like he could have got it and it bounced over his head, but he still recovered it and kicked the goal. So he, along with Erlinson, Daniel Wheatra and Warwick Williams, be really good players, but out is one of their gun players out of the team, Dominic.
Yeah, Mitchell Taylor, what a great player here. He has really held their defence together the last few weeks. Out this weekend, interesting to see how they go without him. Ball back in the middle, Wanderers, as Natasha's just said, 1 straight 6. Ruck contest in the middle, 1 down by the Maggies. Kick out comes from Eric Guthrie, who's been in good form, almost a mark to Brodie Newman. Good to see him back in Eagles colours. Tackle being laid here, but a free kick paid. Free kick for a high tackle goes to Daniel Wheatra. Skids a pass to Marcus Totham, picks it up beautifully, kicks poorly out to Lloyd Johnston. Newman in there again, fighting hard for the footy is Jonas Nicky, and can't quite take a possession there. In fact, Levi Grigg it was, of course, for the Palmerston Magpies. Ball caught there inside 50, left forward pocket. Players milling around. Stafford there in the ruck contest, wins it down, gets a kick away. That's fantastic. Got it to Grigg. Snap on the right boot from 35 metres. That's a goal. Well done to Daniel Stafford with some great ruck work.
And gee, good goal, Grigg, isn't he? Just a terrific player for Palmerston, along with Guthrie and Riddick, has been the revival of this Magpies outfit. They really are playing above their capabilities. But yeah, good build-up, good goal in the end, and a good answering goal was required from the Magpies.
Yeah, it was a good goal, Charlie. And Stafford missed last week. Back in this week, he kicked, I think he kicked 7 against the Tiwi Bombers in the round 2 win over the Bombers. So big inclusion for the Magpies. And it was pretty good that they got the win over Buffaloes last week without him. So see what he can do against the Muck-Mucks.
Just a massive turnaround, wasn't it? 113-point turnaround for Palmerston last week.
Yeah, it was, Charlie. So back in the middle. Down by the Maggies, kicked out of the midfield. They go forward. It's going to land at the 50. Griggs underneath it. He takes a beautiful mark in front. So the goal kicker takes it on 50. He's going to have to kick it from 52. He's called to play on. It's a mongrel-looking kick in. Williams couldn't take it. Chrissy Williams goes in again. He kicks it off the boot. It's going to bounce into the goal square, but McLean's there. Tidies up well. McMasters is after him. Kicks it to Johnson. Johnson. Good handball linking up here, Wanderers. As they do again. Oh, they might have mucked it up here. Johnson's got to get rid of it. He does. Luckily, they had the numbers running. He gets it back. Geez, is he going to get it back again? Surely not. So they're on centre wing. They go back to go forward. Looks for Simpson. So he's back. Ed Simpson. You know what he did for the Muck-Mucks last season.
They can thank Johnson for getting the ball down the half-forward line from the last line of defence.
And Shillabee drops a mark he should have taken in front of Flanagan, so he goes back. No one's there for the Muck-Mucks. Nicky picks it, misses it, and Guthrie gets it out wide. Magpies player all by himself on centre wing. It's Riddick, sorry. So Riddick dances around 1, in between 2, he can have a shot on goal, and it's a poor kick in the end. He couldn't pick up his captain, and the Muck-Mucks are going to come away with it.
They didn't move for him, that was the problem.
Daniel Wheatra takes possession, finds Bo O'Connell at right half back, just steadies play down here. Goes sideways and finds Matthew Motlop now into the middle of the ground, opening right up here for the Eagles. And that player there in Keenan Smith-Thompson, lovely kick from him, finds the hard work of Totham. Totham marks 48 from goal, man stands on the mark, he just bombs it up. Looking there for Simpson, the tall timber, can't get it, ball comes to ground. Fijo couldn't handle cleanly, Jerome Cabillo comes out, handballs, finds Fijo, snap on the right boot, misses to the right-hand side. Behind on the board for the Eagles, and scores are all tied up here at the 4-minute mark, 1-1-7 apiece between the Maggies and the Eagles.
Looking dangerous, Wanderers, when they go forward, just not quite able to get clear ball there down deep in their forward pocket.
So Bad finds Jaden Shea. So he's just telling him to just slow it down up to Wharf, but leaves it for Grigg. So he's moved forward and over the top, but in the end it found the arms of Backlund. But he messed it up. A number of players go in right in front of our commentary box. There's some hard tackles being laid in there. Ugle in the end. So over the top, the umpire says, give it to me. So it's going to be a ball up. good start to this game. Bit of an arm wrestle out there.
I reckon it's going to be a free-flowing game. You just get the feeling two good running teams here.
Good tap down by Backlund for the Palmerston Magpies, but Eagles in possession now. Daniel Wheater takes the ball with composure. Great kick from him. Front and centre, Marcus Totem on Shillabeer. Long bomb down towards the goal square. Simpson's there and he takes the mark. 15 metres out from goal. Slightly to the left of centre. No real angle to speak of. And he should go back and kick the Eagles second.
Did not take his eye off the ball when it came in, did he? Just worked himself into position. Defender had to watch where he was going. He wasn't going anywhere. He was just watching the footy and then took the mark.
There's no really big player to match up with Simpson out there for the Magpies today, so they're going to have to. Enough bad will stay on him all game. Doesn't look like the matchup to me.
So much smaller, isn't he? Here he comes, the big man, Edward Simpson. Strolls in, has the kick on goal, puts that straight through the middle. Very happy with that kick on goal. Wanderers now 2-1-13, leading the Palmerston Magpies 1-1-7, 4 minutes gone in the first quarter.
Absolutely right, Tash, with your comment. Simpson there is a mismatch, isn't it? They don't. Yeah. There's not. I look around. I can't see a player big enough to go down and stand him in the goals. So that's good for Wanderers to be able to kick it in high and give him every chance.
Well, with the back sixes they got, Charlie, I just can't see. He'll dominate down there. The only one I think that they could put down there is Desmond Corbett. He's playing in the forward line. He's got a bit of height, but not quite sure if he's got the strength. But at the moment, it's the height.
See if Wanderers bombs it in, they'll work. They've just worked that out. I think that's the way to go forward. Kick it high into the goal square and leave him one out.
The last two times, that's what they've exactly done. Put it at the top of the square, Charlie. So smart play. There's something wrong with the ball. We don't see that very often, but.
Just coming back to that comment, Charlie, it means that they have to put pressure on in the midfield, don't they? You know, yeah. Daniel Wheater, a beautiful ball movement, then Totem, really quick front and centre to get the ball in. Palmerston have got to be on in the middle because they don't want quick ball down to Simpson or Shillabeer.
Yeah, and you can't shut it down in the goal square.
No.
The pressure's got to be downfield.
Just to give to our listeners, we've got Buckland that's rucking. He's against, they're probably to the two smallest ruckmen I've seen in Premier League for a long time.
I was surprised when he was lining up. I was saying, hey, there's 4 midfielders. Where's the ruckman? But that's him.
Yeah, and for Wanderers, can't quite pick up that number, but he's even smaller. So I'm quite surprised that Rowbottom's off. He's off for a rest. And again, Charlie, I'll raise it. The big ruckman needs to rest in the forward line.
How many times have you said?
You've got the height, you've got the match, so back in the middle.
And transition from a yellow ball to a red ball, Tash.
So I'm not quite sure how that happens, but during a game, but Eagles taken high. Umpire says play on. Number of elbows went in there for a minute, so taken by the Magpies. Gets back to Flanagan. He's under pressure. They can run through here. The Mucks. It's in their forward 50. Gets the ball out to O'Connell, who dances back inside, then goes back with a long hand pass to a teammate in Motlock. There's Cabillo. Cabillo just puts at the top of the 50. He was dumped after he kicked it by Brendan Ugle. So the free kick is going to go to Darren Shillabeer, the person that you probably didn't want the free kick to go to. I think he's going to have to kick it from about 52. He's got the distance, and Charlie's usually better from longer range.
It's outside 50.
So he comes in, kicks it from 52. It's on target, and there you go. It's straight through the middle. So Wanderers have their third on the board, and he always looks more dangerous. You put him directly in front of goal, and he looks nervous, but Shillabeer making an impact for Wanderers already.
And that goal took Wanderers from being menacing to being dangerous.
Yeah,
they're actually dangerous down there with Shillabeer and Simpson down there now, both targets up in the forward line. They'll look for them.
Charlie, they certainly will. And as you use that word, menace, absolutely. Isn't it a wonderful sight, regardless of what team you're in, to see Darren Shillabeer back playing football in this competition? Yeah. He is a wonderful player. Just great to see him. Palmerston don't really want to see him today, and he's kicked one already.
And Annard's got the job on him. I'm not sure that he can cope with him.
He's got the height, but doesn't have the strength, Charlie.
Ball back in the middle. Tipalora could not quite get a fingernail to it. Palmerston pushing the ball forward. Keenan Smith-Thompson over the footy, but a free kick paid, and that free kick will go to Rudy Riddick. He takes it quickly. Long bomb. Perfect position for Stafford. Couldn't take the mark. At the back of the pack, the snap on goal comes from Max Sutton with the left boot. He can't bend it back enough and it goes through to the left for a minor score. So Palmerston 1-2-8, Wanderers 3-1-19. 4 minutes gone in this first quarter.
Last time we saw a Sutton playing in the forward line was Trevor Sutton, played for Nycliffe all those years ago, kicked 100 goals in the season. But Sutton then quick onto the loose ball, snapped and missed.
So Weetra with the kick out. Took it in the back pocket. Now a long kick, gains about 70 metres, but at the back was Lampton. Lampton goes infield, finds a teammate in green. That's Andrew Green. He's on. Kicks it back into the 50. It's a poor kick. Magpies are under it. Stafford picks it up now. Dances around one. He needs to get rid of it. He does. Sutton's there. Gets it to Groves. Groves ducks around one. The umpire says play on as he should. He ducked into that. Masters tries to get there at ground level. Shoves it out. They're under pressure here, the Muck defence. And the umpire says give it to me. So a ball up just off the centre of the goals, about 30 metres out.
Good chance here for the Maggies. They've got it down in their forward line.
So Stafford in ruck, gets it to the right side, picked up. I'm not quite sure who that was, but it's through for a goal. He was absolutely dumped after he kicked the footy, Charlie, but I think that is, I'm trying to look at the moment, that's Green? No. Wait for him to turn around, but Magpies 2-2-14, still trailing Wanderers 3-1-19, and nearly 15 minutes gone.
Yeah,
Sutton.
I think you're right. Sutton featuring again.
Max Sutton missed last time, got the goal this time. Good goal, good work down there. They got it in the forward line, kept it there, and was able to kick the goal.
They had to too, didn't they, Charlie? I mean, 3-1 was looking a little bit dangerous. 4-1 would have been danger signs well and truly, but they've got it back to 3-2.
Anthony Moody's on the boundary. We'll get down to her shortly. She's been at Gardens Oval watching a little bit of the Tiwi Sutton Districts game at three-quarter time with Sutton Districts 18-6, Tiwi 6-7. Look away, Tiwi supporters.
So Wanderers now 3-1-19, leading Palmerston 2-2-14. Good game here, 5-point margin. Palmerston winning the ruck contest again through William Rowbottom and caught in the middle of the ground. Not really much of an opportunity at all there to Levi Grigg. Had the ball tapped to him. Marcus Totham wrapped him up immediately. No opportunity. Ball now in the forward 50 off the boot of Lloyd Johnston for the Eagles. Can they continue to put the pressure on? Ball comes out to Baird. Very, very lucky off to Liam Flanagan. Takes a bounce in front of Stanley Tipalora. Kicks it high up and under. No one really moved for him. Out of bounds on the full is the call.
There's a nest of eagles up there.
And the free kick to be taken by Joel Cabillo, about 80 metres from the Eagles' goal.
He's got to climb back over the fence.
That he does. Does it nicely.
They butted up well in defence there, the Magpies, but then he had no one to kick to, Charlie. It was just a nest of eagles out there. So delivers it into the 50 at the back of Shillabeer again, uncontested in the end, Charlie. He is looking dangerous. 45-degree angle. He's going to kick it from about 30. Oh, wow. In the end, uncontested. That is just a cardinal sin, that is.
But that's a perfect ball for Sir Simpson and Shillabeer down there, isn't it? That big high ball. It was always, that was the target.
And again, he took it on the mark is the ruckman.
Yep, Simpson too, it is attached.
Simpson, sorry.
Got one already,
so he's going to take the Stevie J, kicks it around the corner. It looks good. The goal umpire does not move. Simpson has his second, and the Mucks have their fourth.
Well, the Wanderers' talls are causing all the problems down there. Whilst down there, let's go down to Anthea Moody. She's been at Gardens Oval. What can you tell us, Anthea? How did you leave it, and what was the score?
Yeah, look, Charlie, it's much a similar story to last week for the Tiwi Bombers. Unfortunately, I'm just looking at the score there. The Southern District's 128 and Tiwi Bombers 57. So, look, I don't know if they've gained much from last week's experience at all, unfortunately. But what a goal did we just saw there. Bend it like Beckham, I reckon.
Yeah, indeed. It was a great kick. Hey, that big ruckman you were trying to get, Locke, from the Tiwi Bombers, you teed him up for about 4 o'clock, but you had to get back here because the game was a bit earlier than what we thought. What happened with him? Did you tee him up for later on?
Yeah, we'll have a chat with him tomorrow.
Okay.
Ball from the middle now. Ruck contest again. Cleaned up by Palmerston initially, got it to half forward. Wanderers now on the charge. Ball stolen away by Max Sutton, delivered it by hand but taken by Braden McLean. McLean sees a player in the clear, dropping the mark there as Warwick Williams in the middle of the ground. Spillage, there's a nest of magpies there. No one can pick it up cleanly. Lloyd Johnston can. Received it by hand. Got it to Nicky. He couldn't handle cleanly. Johnston through again. Taken by Flanagan. Hit high. One umpire called it as
No
dropping
one called
the
it.
ball. Everybody stopped because they knew it should have been a free kick. None was called. Ball comes to Bo O'Connell, chips it up looking for Shillaby. Poor kick in the end. Baird takes the mark deep inside defensive 50.
Been terrific player, Baird, this year, hasn't he? He's only a youngster, isn't he, Clarence Baird?
Yep, switches on to Green, still in the defensive 50. He's got Lambton running past. He's going to go to him. That's not 15. The umpire pays it. The hand pass over the top to Sutton. Sutton's under pressure, needs to get rid of it. It's a poor kick. You're going to pick it up. Erlinson gets it over the top to himself, mind you. They're back in the middle. Grigg, and a strong tackle laid by Erlinson. And he's going to get called holding the ball. The umpires are red hot on this at the moment because there was no prior opportunity in that. Yes, he spun to hit the pack, but wow. So on centre wing, Erlinson's going to take the free kick. Mucks look like they have the upper hand here at Marara. Just waiting for a lead. Now he gets it from Shillaby. Punch over the top by Baird. Well done. And Tottenham takes it over the line for a boundary throw-in, 70 metres around from the Wanderers' goal.
So pressing here, Wanderers keeping the pressure on late in the first term.
How good's Johnson been?
He's a flyer, isn't he?
He's very good. 10 seconds to go here. If the boundary umpire can get the ball in, he's taken 6 of them. Finally, boundary umpire tosses the ball in. When it goes straight over the top of the ruckman's head. Coming in strongly was Jaden Shea. Taken in tackle, loses the footy. Time ticking away. High up and under. Can they take a mark? They can't. Ball spills to Baird. Baird very calm, very good. Out to Flanagan. Flanagan has Lambton if he wants him. Doesn't go to him quickly at all. Just stops and props deep in the back pocket. No option then. Now he goes out wide to Green. Thumped away from him from O'Connell, which was very good disciplined play. Stanley Tipalora picks it up. Goes to McLean. McLean easily finds Shillabeer. Shillabeer 48 from goal where he took the mark. Left of centre, 40-degree angle. And he'll go back and have a crack at his second.
The kick from Flanagan there was on with Lambton. He kicked it to a 3-on-1. And as you said, O'Connell did the right thing, brought it to ground. And that's why they're having a shot.
So Shillaby 52 out. He's going to make the distance. No problem at all here. Accuracy, it fades late and to the left. So another behind on the board here for the Eagles. They move to 4-2-26. Palmerston 2-2-14.
So Baird kicking out duties for the Magpies. He can go to Cole. He goes further than that. And it's a poor kick. In the end, it finds no one. Dribbles over the boundary line. And it's going to be a throw-in. So bit too calm there, young Clarence Baird.
It's kicked straight to Shillaby and it completely clean bowled him. Straight over the boundary line, straight through his legs.
So boundary throw-in, about 55 around on the far side from the Muck's goal. That one hits the ruckman, Rowbottom in front for the Magpies. Reddick tries to pick it up, but it goes again straight over the boundary line. 2 metres extra ground that they got there, the Wanderers. So from 51 metres out, there's going to be another boundary throw-in. So the ruckman set, Tipalura and Rowbottom. The boundary umpires are taking a long time to throw in these balls. Now he does. Rowbottom again gets front. Williams gets the kick away, but it goes straight to Warwick Williams. He dances around one, dances around two, kicks it. Looking for Simpson. Simpson 2-on-1 and over the boundary line it goes.
Oh,
Simpson
he's got the free.
in the
He's
back.
got the free.
Yeah, there was a little bit of a hold there by and I think it was Anand. So the free kick, and it's in a very, very tight angle here, but if the snap was anything to go by on his last shot, he'll probably kick this. So Simpson already has 2. Magpies. Edward Simpson comes in, looks good, it's tight, it's through the big sticks. He's got his 3rd on the board. For a big fella, he has such a great kicking technique, Charlie, and he has been absolutely dangerous in this first quarter for Wanderers.
Too big, too tall, too strong, all of those problems that create small problems for small teams. And poor old Palmerston, no clear system really from them. They're just kicking under pressure, and that's because Wanderers are moving the ball much more quickly than they are and hitting targets most of the time. So a little bit of kick and hope for Palmerston of costing them dearly. But gee, Simpson and Shillaby are up there. If that's how this game's going to pan out, they've got a lot of trouble today, I think, Palmerston Magpies.
So deep into this first quarter. Can't exactly tell you how far we've gone because the scoreboard says 0 from a time perspective. William Rowbottom in the middle, challenged there by Caleb Nicky. Palmerston again doing really well at the centre breakdowns, but this is where it has broken down. That next possession taken away now by Cabillo. Tumbles a punt up towards the goal square, almost bounces through for a potential goal, hits the post. Another behind registered for the Eagles. Kick in from Baird, almost marked by Shillabeer, close to the boundary, wheels around onto his left boot. Good kick, looks for Erlinson. It's on the second grab, luckily takes the mark in front of Guthrie.
How good was that kick?
Sensational. Shillabeer, very, very unselfishly, from 50 metres out, he just squared it up. And Jared Erlinson takes that mark, 40 from goal in the corridor.
And just an underrated player, Jared Erlinson. Year after year, he's been a terrific player for Wanderers. Last couple of games we've seen him, he's just got so much of the ball, and he doesn't let them down.
He's looking very fit as well, Charlie.
Former captain of the club, of course, Jared Erlinson, kicking on goal here. Will he have the distance? He does. Does he have the accuracy? Ed Simpson says you sure do. He kicks his first for the afternoon, and Wanderers have got a handy lead here close to quarter time. Wanderers 6-3-39, leading the Palmerston Magpies 2-2-14.
4 goal kickers to 2. Edward Simpson with 3, and then singles each to Shillabeer, Erlinson with that one, and Bo O'Connell with a terrific snap earlier on in the game. Big quarter for the Eagles here. They might just pinch this game if Palmerston can't get back in it.
Big statement there, Charlie. And again, they're just struggling, as Dominic said, in the midfield. They're winning the ruck, but that doesn't always necessarily mean that you're going to win the clearance out of the centre square, and that's what's happening at the moment. So Buckland has gone back in against Tipalura, that's doing, Nicky, that's doing a good job in there for Wanderers. So again, Wanderers applying the pressure. The ball, Jerome Motlop's trying to pick it up, but still the third effort, but he's dragged it in. The umpire's going to call him this time. They are absolutely hot on holding the ball so far in this game. Let's see if they keep it up. So the free kick going the way the Magpies captain, Chrissy Williams, directly in the centre circle, looks out wide, looking for Stafford, and Johnson cuts it off, but he can't take the mark. It's in the forward 50 here for the Maggies. They all dive on top of the umpire's got to call it, and he does. A ball up 40 metres in front of goal for the Maggies.
Lloyd Johnson involved in that for a second, didn't get it.
Daniel Stafford in the ruck contest, wins it down only as far as McLean, taken in a strong tackle, ball spills. Jerome Motlop gets the ball out. Confronting the footy there is Lambton. He was taken in a tackle, got it out to Riddick. He just handballed in hope. Jones Cabillo took it. Off hands there for Keelan Fijo. Out wide now by Marcus Totham is a fantastic kick. Out to Shillabeer, who's in everything. Wheels around onto his left. Had enough time to go with his right. Bombs long into the goal square. Kicks the goal. What a goal by Darren Shillabeer. From outside 50, the long bomb, and he's kicked his second.
No, didn't he get the lucky bounce out of it? Terrific play from him, though. The step, the dummy, got onto that left boot and banged away at goal and kicked an absolute ripper for them. Gee, they've piled it on here. 45-14, 31 points in 26 minutes of footy.
This reminds me of Wanderers from last season.
Yep.
You know, when they started the game and started the season, they were red hot, Charlie. They had goal kickers everywhere. They had runners, and I just feel that the Wanderers, the first, couple of rounds, I know they got the win in round 1, but it just looks like the Wanderers of last season, and we know how well they did last season.
But didn't they look good in round 1? That back 6 running out of defence, that pace, they've got the pace. That's what they've got. A bit like the Tiwis used to play.
It's a Johnson's just absolutely on fire. The only thing he's done wrong is he didn't take that mark, that intercept mark, but he butters up. He second and third effort.
Long quarter. We'll get down to Anthea at quarter time.
So Buckland gets it down to Corbett. Corbett drills it inside the 50 for Magpies, and again there's that man Johnson, intercept mark, just not attacking the footy there, Riddick. So Johnson looks to switch. It's a brilliant kick, and he finds Brodie Newman. His first touch goes inboard to O'Connell. O'Connell through the centre square, drops it in front of Tipalura. Stanley Tipalura takes the mark, absolutely uncontested. Too much distance on his opponent. He's going to have to kick it from 50 as the siren goes to end the first quarter. Wow, if he kicks this 8 goals in a quarter, Charlie, for Wanderers.
It's just stunning footy, isn't it?
And in this heat, you've got to, out there, it's very hot out there, but wow, Wanderers are just playing absolutely brilliant, out of their skin.
This is not beyond Tipalura. He's going to kick from just inside 50.
So Dances comes in, kicks it right on the paint of 50. It's just trying to get the distance. It goes to the left and through for a behind. So Palmerston 2-2-14, Wanderers 7-4-46. Wow, what a quarter by Wanderers.
Just the goals scorers, and then we'll go back to the studio. 3 goals to Simpson, a couple to Shillabia, 1 to Bob O'Connell and 1 to Erlinson for Wanderers from a terrific first quarter from them. 2 early goals. Levi Grigg started just fantastic, looked so good, and Max Sutton up in that forward line, Crumming, did some terrific work for them and kicked a goal. But the lead is a big one for the Eagles at quarter time. Have they set it up to win this round 4 clash? 3 quarters to go. 7-4 to 2-2 at quarter time has the Eagles comfortably in front.
You know what great mates Territorians can be. Always willing to lend a hand, or something else. So if they ever ask to borrow your car, as you know they will, you can say yes, knowing that your TIO comprehensive car insurance has them covered. Same as you. It's good to know. So get a quote today. TIO. We're for Territorians. Kazali's Palmerston Club has been renovated. Come check out our brand new cafe, open 7 days a week. And with the new Kids Club, we are the perfect spot for a worry-free catch-up with friends. Enjoy hot meals with nightly specials at the bistro or cold drinks at the sports bar. Feeling lucky? Have a go at the latest machines in our gaming lounge or grab your mates for a round of pool. Family gathering or casual meetings, we have something for everyone. Kazali's Palmerston Club, making a difference.
This weekend is our CFS.
Firing superstars.
Show us your best holding the ball.
Your best push in the back.
And even your best holding the player.
If you think you are the next best NTFL umpire,
come to our open training each Tuesday and Thursday night
from 5:30 p.m. at TIO Stadium.
For more information and to sign up, visit umpire.afl.
Time to escape, cause I'm in need of warmer weather. Sail upon the stream to find there's someplace better. And I'm going far and wide. Ooh.
Great Northern Brewing Co., the beer from up here.
You know Territorians are a hardy bunch. Hats off to you. Whether you're new or you've been here forever, we know what the weather can throw at us. That's why TIO Home Insurance covers your home for cyclone, storm surge and flood. It's good to know. And with the only contact centre, claims team and assessors based in the Territory, we're here when you need us most. TIO, we're for Territorians.
AFL Northern Territory would like to remind spectators that congregating at the team huddles is not permitted during the breaks.
Good on you, Rick. Thanks for that. 23-8 to 10-13. Any thoughts on that? Tiwi Bombers struggling this season, but they've taken an even further dive on the back of that result from Southern Districts, who, I must say, they've only just lost games, haven't they? They've been so close. They've had a draw.
Districts.
Yeah, where they came home, Districts against Tiwi, come home really strong, didn't they?
Don't they have a big sign up this week in Harry Taylor?
Yeah.
Harry Taylor from Geelong. The ex-Geelong footy player is going to be playing for Southern Districts next week at home, I believe.
Now, you know what?
Amazing.
I'll tell you, we'll get down. Anthony might be right for us down. Let's go down to Anthony Moody's on the boundary. Anthony, we're with you.
Yeah, g'day. I managed to get across to the Palmerston huddle and get a bit of their message. So what I heard was they need to get some contact on the body at all times because, yeah, the Wanderers players are just getting the ball way too easy, and we've seen that at the end of that quarter there for sure. And it's time now for the boys to respond. They've scored, 3 or so quick goals right at the end of that quarter, and they need to show a bit of ticket to try and get on top of this quarter.
Good, Nancy. Thanks for that. Most of the play in the forward line for Wanderers, their game plan, put pressure upfield, win the ball, kick long. Down there, you've got those two big players down, as we said before, Simpson and Shillabee. And when they start to double team those players, it creates another loose player. Have your eyes open and look to go to the other loose player if you can. 7-4 to 2-2. Big quarter by the Eagles. Tash, what do you think?
Yeah, and they've made that swap down in defence. Clarence Baird's gone on to Shillabee and Nan has gone on to Simpson.
In the ruck contest now, William Rowbottom winning it out of the middle, got it away to Eric Guthrie, clears the middle, long bomb inside 50, Sutton up high, couldn't take the mark, Spillage gathered so cleanly by Johnston, lovely kick out, finds Bo O'Connell at right half back immediately. So Johnston, he is a wall down there for them. Bo O'Connell's kick cut off initially there at centre wing, Warwick Williams couldn't gather, then he did, then he tried to handball to himself. It looked spectacular, except the boundary umpire was standing right there and said that he crossed it. So a boundary throw in to the right of the old scoreboard here at Marara Oval. We've gone only 30 seconds or so here in this first quarter. Again, up high, William Rowbottom in the ruck contest. Free kick given. He will take it. He plays on quickly. Well done to him. He goes to the captain, Chris Williams. Takes the mark, 55 from goal. On the lead, Levi Grigg ignores him, goes long. Stafford down there, can't take the mark. Spillage in the goal square. Who can soccer it through? The Eagles do. They concede the behind. So 1 point on the board for the Palmerston Magpies. They score first, 2-3-15, trailing the Eagles 7-4-46.
Braden McLean with the kick out finds Nicky. That's Caleb Nicky. Brody Newman on, he ignores that. So he goes to that man of the moment. I would too. Johnson had a brilliant first quarter. Best player on ground by far. Out to Erlinson, all by himself. That's a great switch up. Through centre wing. Shillabee takes it. No, he dropped it.
Oh, that's not a mark.
He dropped that, but fortunately the umpire didn't see it. So Shillabee on centre wing. Kicks it up, looking for Tipalura. Out in front, but he's earned the free kick, so in the back in the end. So Stanley Tipalura takes the free kick 70 metres around from the Wanderers' goal.
It's a bit of worry for Palmerston. Tipalura start getting the footy.
He handballs it off to Shillabee at the back. Wanderers Motlop to the other Motlop, his cousin Jerome, then gets it to Totham. Totham has time, he can settle, he does, and he hits up Motlop. So Matthew Motlop takes the mark pretty much directly in front. We'll kick it from about 40. Wow, that was a good transition, wasn't it, Charlie?
It was indeed, using Lloyd Johnson, of course, as you mentioned, just terrific play from him. But Wanderers with all the answers here at the moment.
So Matty Motlop comes in. His brother's the coach and kicks it and hits the post. It just faded away halfway up the big sticks, and it's through for a behind.
Now there's a glut of balls out there.
I'm still surprised we started with the yellow but have red.
Transition to a red. They'll have to change that in the second half. I'm sure they will. Baird now for the Palmerston Magpies. Just trundles out from full back. Kicks long. Ball off the shins of McLean. Green can't pick up for the Magpies. Ball slapped to McLean. Out wide goes to Caleb Nicky. He is shoved in the back. Play on, says the umpire. Ball gathered now by the Maggies. Out towards Corbett. Gathers on centre wing. He's tackled and then handball straight over the boundary line. And the umpire says that is just fine. Throw that in to the right of the old scoreboard. Charlie King?
Well,
Charlie King can make a call.
Oh, come on. What's more deliberate than that?
If that's not deliberate, nothing's going to be.
So boundary throw in. We're all on par with that one. Rowbottom works to the front. And there is Greg. Greg takes it over the boundary line. Now that's Guthrie.
Gee, Wanderers tackling has been fantastic. You know, they're so quick. They get to the player with the balls, the opposition player so quickly.
Their pressure, and you found out there with Corbett, he thought he had time, and before he knew it, Charlie, there was 2 Wanderers hot on his hammer. Yeah. And that's why he deliberately hand passed it over the boundary line. So boundary throw in. Green gets it. Sutton gets it up and under. Trying to attack it was Corbett. Got caught behind, and a good tackle again. The ball's over the boundary line. This time it's 70 away from the Magpies' goal. Just feel they're a little bit stagnant in that forward line. You see previously when Chrissy Williams took that mark outside the 50, Charlie, there was no one leading for him. No one leading.
They're playing like a team that's shell-shocked, and they are. They've been outscored here by 5 goals.
Ruck contest 1 down by the Maggies. Quick kick inside 50. No mark taken. Brody Newman cuts it off for the Eagles. Just hacks a kick out wide, and as luck would have it, falls straight in the waiting arms of Erlinson. His kick is a good one. Hits the chest of Shillabeer. Bounces off. He goes back in to try and get it again. And yet again, the last couple of minutes over the boundary line. This time to the left of the old scoreboard. Another boundary throw in. Boundary umpire out there earning his money in the last 5 minutes or so.
Even the quick kick there by Newman. The numbers. Wanderers had the numbers.
Boundary throw-in's a good one. No ruckman went forward, just went straight over their heads. Keelan Fijo charging in, can't pick up the footy. Erlinson in there again at ground level. Quick pick up, long bomb. Up goes Baird, can't take the mark at half forward. McLean with the pick up and spin. In fact, it was Motlop, was brilliant, but the handball was ineffective because the umpire says it's a throw. So Lambton at left half back for the Palmerston Magpies takes the free kick.
So Lambton, not much on. And it goes out wide. So just behind centre wing. The Maggies have it still again. Not much. Corbett leads now. No one else is leading, so he goes close to the boundary line and finds Cole. That's Jackson Cole. Up to Corbett. Corbett takes the mark this time. Still a long way from goal. Stafford's got a lead now. He doesn't. Chrissy Williams 2 against 1. It gets over the back. Stafford goes without it. Rowbottom picks it up. Gives it to Greg. Greg's already got a goal in the first quarter, and it's through the big sticks, what the Magpies needed. So Greg has his second. The Magpies have their first of the quarter. They're still trailing the Muck-Mucks, but that looked a little bit better, Charlie. Still not too structured in that forward line, but they managed to get the goal anyhow.
Somehow, didn't see any real clear system in there, but that was a good goal. Greg's good player, Levi Greg. But you know what's on the line here is next week, Palmerston play St Mary's. That game is scheduled for that number 2 oval over there. If Palmerston can win here and Eddie Betts comes into the side next week, they need to shift that game from number 2 oval back here to number 1 oval. So someone go out and tell them that.
Gee.
How that even got scheduled like that, I'll never know.
I think it's because it's classified now as a home game for St Mary's.
Is it? Okay.
They're new things that they're experimenting this season, which I think is actually quite positive for all the clubs.
Well, a home game gives you about, I don't know, $4,000
That's
or
right,
something.
which is important. Tipalora now winning the footy from the ruck contest out of the middle, then goes and wins his own footy, kicks it down towards Shillabeer, finds him under pressure. His kick on the left boot, high up and under, waiting underneath it. Flanagan dropped the mark under pressure from Tipalora. Flanagan goes back in and gets it well done. Got a handball away to Kobe Anand. Still the Palmerston Magpies battling away in the back pocket. Jerome Motlop, can he gather the footy? Not quite. Still under pressure from Guthrie. And he's pushed him over the boundary line, and the umpire says that will be a boundary throw in 10 metres around from the Eagles' goal. They're kicking towards the Michael Long Learning Centre end in this second quarter.
Callum Groves has actually gone to Shillabeer. The last 2 contests he's lining up against him, and he is again now. So Buckland takes it directly out of the ruck, has no one to kick to. Is this going to be called deliberate? There's 3 Wanderers players.
They all have a case.
And I think the boundary umpire said it was actually out of bounds on the full. So in the end, it's a free kick to the Muck-Mucks. But just a total breakdown there. Goes back to Brody Newman. Plays on now. Kicks it from 7. He puts it to the top of the square. Simpson's in front.
It's a free kick downfield, Tash.
Free kick downfield. So Desmond Corbett is absolutely floored Brody Newman. So Simpson He's going to have the free kick directly in front of goal, Charlie, and he can kick his 4th, and we're only just under 9 minutes into the second quarter.
Yeah, good effort by Wanderers here. But you know, that's the result of that poor kick that out of defence there by Palmerston that went out of bounds on the full. And as you quite rightly said, there was no one to go to. He just kicked it.
Yeah.
And why? Because he's under pressure, under real pressure.
You know, the ball's over that side for the boundary throw. Magpies need to push that side. So Simpson doesn't miss that one. It's through for a goal. He's got his 4th on the board, 3 in the first quarter. He's first in the second, and the Muck-Mucks are streaming away here.
8 goals, 5 to 3 goals, 3. Let's go down to Anthea.
Yeah, another nice goal there, straight through the middle, pretty simple one. Let's see if we can get a couple of people up to 10 goals this week. We saw last week Jackson Corder slotted 10, so let's see, but it's only early days yet.
Oh, Edward Simpson on the way, 4 already, and we've just played 9 minutes of this second term, so he's still got a lot of time left.
I'm starting to panic, Charlie.
There's a few words between Corbett and Brodie Newman back here as well, so interesting to watch those two. Brodie Newman, what an addition. He plays on so quickly, gives them so much. Ball back in the middle, one down here by Ash Backlund for the Palmerston Magpies, but again, Wanderers killing them in the midfield. This is where they're getting the job done. Lots of players putting their body on the line here. Backlund in again. Again, he gets the ball out, but only as far as Marcus Totham for the Eagles. Out to Keenan Smith-Thompson. Kick off the right boot, looking for Tipalora. Slapped away initially there by Jackson Cole. Players diving in on the footy. Tipalora manages to get a toe poke out. Baird palms off an opponent. Gets a handball away. Looked good. Now caught with the footy almost was Andrew Green. Got a handball out. Ball comes back to Baird. The don't argue on Matthew Motlop, if you don't mind. Kicks the ball up to centre wing. Was great play. Ball flipped out towards Guthrie.
Oh, beautifully done.
Good play. Handball to Stafford. Wheeled. Went with the left boot, found Chris Williams, takes the mark, just needs to steady, and 50-metre penalty because I don't know what he was thinking, but Dylan DeSantis ran straight towards Chris Williams when he had to run in the opposite direction, and immediately the umpire had to pay the 50-metre penalty. So straight down into the goal square. Wanderers not even going to bother with a man on the mark. Chris Williams taps it through. Palmerston, they stay just in touch. 4-3-27, trailing the Eagles 8-5, 53, 10 and a half gone in this second quarter.
Tom, I just want to say, when that 50-metre penalty was given away, I saw the Wanderers players hang their head and say that's a terrible thing to do, and it was, but it doesn't excuse not sending someone down to stand on the mark in the goal square. Even if it's going to be a goal, someone has to run down and stand on the mark. It's what footy's all about.
Make him kick it.
Yeah, you don't have the 18 players all upfield, no one going down in defence. It doesn't honour the game.
You never know what could possibly happen.
Yeah, we've seen it before. Yeah. Players having shots from the goal square.
We've seen everything. So Wanderers 8-5, 53. Palmerston Magpies 4-3, 27. 11 and a half minutes gone in the second quarter. Buckland wins it, but Erlinson sharked it. Hits it off the left boot. Underneath it is Matthew Motlop running through with the Wanderers players, but Clarence Baird, he's been good in the last couple of minutes for the Magpies. Erlinson's taken a little bit high by Shea, but the umpire let it go. He's a bit blindsided to that.
I know I mentioned this before, Jared Erlinson, but he's a workhorse, isn't he? He's there, he's tough, he's a hard-running player, and he's the soul of this club.
Yeah, he's had a few injuries over the last couple of seasons, Charlie, but he's looking really, really fit. So still in the middle. So Guthrie with the free kick.
Yeah.
He's a
crowd in the grandstand appreciated that too, Tash.
He's a pit bull out there, Guthrie, so he's going to take the free kick in the centre square.
He's been quiet. We haven't got a lot from him, have we, in the match so far? Haven't heard him called.
Not enough
yet. Long kick, almost a push in the back against Lloyd Johnston. Back it comes, ball picked up there. Levi Grigg had it, lost it, taken in the tackle. Now Jaden Shea with the footy, trying to crash through Bo O'Connell, got the handball away, just spillage to Brodie Newman, quick kick away, straight down centre wing, punched away from Ed Simpson there. Was a good work by Kobe Anand. Now Wanderers under pressure, ball bobbling around there. And again Erlinson, quick kick up centre wing. Ed Simpson couldn't mark it. Coming through really strongly there was Dylan DeSantis. Got a soccer away, picked up by Jerome Motlop. Back to Dylan DeSantis. High up and under. Only player out there for the Palmerston Magpies, Liam Flanagan, takes the mark just a steady, and they were under pressure too.
Flanagan will go out to Toshi Kernoff. He hasn't had a clear touch yet. Now he does. He picks it up, but he's against Heenan Smith Thompson, and he caught him. That's holding the footy. So he tried to dance around his opponent, but in the end, Keaton Smith-Thompson wins the free kick, has his captain running past him, McLean. McLean delivers it into the 50, but it was a poor kick in the end and an easy, uncontested mark to Cole.
Jackson Cole takes that, wheels around immediately, kicks on to Clarence Baird, who I've been really impressed with in this second quarter in particular. His kick, nice and short, goes to Wharf on the left boot. Don't stop for the footy, and he did. Ash Backlund stopped for it, slapped away from him by McLean. Now the ball out towards Motlop. Motlop in the clear, left half forward, 10 metres in from the boundary. Little chip up towards Stanley Tipalora, takes the mark. Deep in that left forward pocket. Good play by the Eagles. Another opportunity here to go for goal. The leads come from Simpson and Shillabia. Stanley Tipalora says, I'm nearly having to climb the fence. What do you think? What do you think this is? I can't kick the goal. Of course I can.
Options are plenty up in the forward line for the Eagles.
He's ignored them all, has Stanley Tipalora. He's going to kick from 45 on the boundary. Left forward pocket, kick on its way. Has the distance, fades, and the mark almost taken by Simpson. Spills to Jerome Motlop, picks up, misses the footy. Palmerston there in numbers. Kick comes out from Flanagan. Wrestling there for it. Toshi Kunoth. Can he pick up the footy? He can. Delivers it away. Taken in a tackle there was Riddick. Got a handball away. Now Grieg fighting for it at ground level. Ball comes out again to Riddick. Pushes his way through a tackle. Beautifully done. Out wide now. Looking for a teammate. Can't find him. Finds the boundary instead. And disappointed there was Michaelis McMasters. And there'll be another boundary throw in. Left half forward here for the Palmerston Magpies.
Starting to look just a little bit better, Palmerston. Hanging on for dear life, though.
Still just these errant kicks. So boundary thrown, row bottom uncontested, but a good front-on hit by Erlinson. Gets it forward, Wanderers, goes back to Totham. Totham has a player all by himself, and that's Williams, Warwick Williams. For the Muck-Mucks, goes forward. It's a mongrel-looking kick along the ground, but good body work there by Tipalora. Gets around, gets the hand pass back to Williams. No, it's back to Williams now, sorry. He dances around one, kicks it from 50. He has a ping at the goals. It looks good. He's kicked the goal. Oh, it hits the post. Oh.
Tash, you were willing it.
Oh, it looked good, Charlie, but looked good off the boot. And he had the shot, but it's through for a behind.
That's a couple of posters, isn't it, for Palmerston in the quarter? They are looking better.
So Clarence Baird now, ball in hand, plays on. Gee, that's a dangerous kick. Went to Wharf. He had a man right on him. Spillage goes to Flanagan. They come back to Baird. He's taken in the tackle. Very, very fortunate. Stanley Tipalora got him high. Free kick pay. That's a poor kick from Baird under pressure. Just didn't go back and steady with the footy. Tried to play on perhaps a bit too quickly. He doesn't find a teammate, and instead the ball rolls out over the boundary line for a boundary throw in. Right at the Eagles interchange gate. 16 minutes gone. 54 plays 27. The Eagles in the lead.
Nicky takes it uncontested out of the ruck. Then the high tackle.
Let's go down to Anthea. It's right in front of you, Anthea. What are you making of it?
Yeah, plenty of action happening down here. A few changes being made by the Magpies. The talk in the box is that they need to get rid of the ball quicker. They're just getting caught with it, and they just need to do the simple things right. And I think that pretty much explains how they're going this quarter.
Yeah, fair comment.
So Simpson took the mark, then he kicks it to Bo O'Connell. He's on a tight angle. He squares it up. Dangerous kick. Groves couldn't take the mark. He tries to butter up now. Gets to Chrissy Williams for Magpies. Back to Wharf. Wharf gets it out to Levi Grieg. He's going to slow things down. There wasn't anything forward for him to kick to. Lampton runs now. It's a poor kick. Wharf couldn't mark it. He gets it back to Stafford. Stafford kicks it into absolutely nobody but Brodie Newman. Took it uncontested, then finds his teammate out there in Fijo on centre wing for Wanderers.
Fijo plays on quickly and goes to Warwick Williams. Normally plays centre half back, but almost looks like he's playing centre half forward now with a roving commission. He's got himself a 50-metre penalty here too.
There was no one around. I'm not quite sure what that was for.
So Warwick Williams, he had a ping at the big sticks before, Charlie. He's going to have an opportunity now. He'll line up from about 45. Hang on, let's see where the umpire stops. Flanagan will be on the mark.
40.
And 40 from goal. Right of centre, 45-degree angle. He'll absolutely fancy himself here.
So what's the 54? Has anyone worked that out?
No.
I couldn't see any signal.
It's either back chatting, Charlie, or the man on the mark might have stepped sideways. There was no one around.
Anthea, any idea?
No idea, but I can chase it up for you.
That's the umpire when he's coming off.
Warwick Williams has Stanley Tipalora giving him a lead. He ignores that. Ball drop looked a little untidy. Doesn't matter. Ed Simpson, all you got to do is look at him, and he was punching the fist in the air immediately. And that is straight through for another goal. I see the umpire just explaining to one of the Palmerston players perhaps what the 50-metre penalty was for. Not to worry, Warwick Williams, he is on the board with his first for the afternoon at the 18.5-minute mark of this second quarter. And Wanderers, they move on when the scoreboard moves on, I think, to 9-6-60. Palmerston 4-3-27.
So it's 2 goals apiece in this quarter. So, do you know, Wanderers set it up in that quarter? You can often do that, you know, get 5 goals in front and then trade goal for the rest of the game.
And it doesn't matter.
And you win, yeah.
And particularly in this heat too, Charlie, as Natasha talked about early on, these are difficult conditions.
Yes.
You get a lead early on, you can protect that lead, although you don't want to be too cute about it.
Yeah, of course. So 2 goals apiece in this second term. 19 minutes gone.
Rowbottom and Nicky. The umpire's just giving you a few instructions there. He finally throws it up. So Rowbottom, look, Nicky's doing well in there. Riddick is trying to pick it up. Paddles it forward, but coming through was Joel Cabillo. Well done, Joel Cabillo. Just cut off Riddick. Warwick Williams is there again, and his namesaken Chrissy Williams puts a good hit on, gets close to the boundary line, kept in by Marcus Totten. Bo O'Connell was running past. This looks good for the Mucks, and Groves picks it off. It was just the kick fell short, looking for Simpson. The Groves is going to go back to Green. Green is told to play on. He's going to go to Clarence Baird, just on the defensive 50 here for the Magpies, just slowing things down a tad. Dangerous. He's got to find Lampton. He didn't take the mark. Fijo picks it up, then he goes across field looking for O'Connell. He takes an uncontested mark, 55 metres away from goal. He can take his time here.
Why didn't Chris Williams go for the spoil? He was in the vicinity.
O'Connell just kicks it up. There's a nest of Magpies there, and in the end, it gets past them all and trickles over the boundary line. Unbelievable.
No, Bo O'Connell was standing under the footy. Chris Williams was about 3 metres away and just let him take the mark. You need to get there and fist that ball away. More needed in defence, more desperation needed.
Just body.
Simpson now to go up in the ruck contest. Nobody else went up against Simpson. He takes the footy out of the ruck contest and kicks straight to his opposite number, who was standing by himself in the goal square.
Great pass.
It was a head-height banana kick, which was just picked off easily there by the Maggies. They bring the footy out now. Ryan Wharf taking the mark just outside defensive 50. Finds himself on the boundary. Another dangerous kick. Goes now to Eric Guthrie.
Wanderers are up and about, that's why.
But the structure, look at the structure they're setting, Charlie. The Magpies just can't break it.
Yeah.
Guthrie now out towards centre wing.
Look at that.
Poor kick. Breaks down immediately. Caleb Nicky taking the mark. The ball in the hands of William Rowbottom. He's very fortunate not to get picked off there and have 50 given against him. So Caleb Nicky, been doing a good job in the ruck. Goes back, how is that 15 metres? Goes back slightly, about 12 to Brodie Newman. Newman, nice kick. Finds Daniel Wheatra under pressure. Unable to take the mark. Free kick to Daniel Wheatra.
But look at the Palmerston players standing around here. Look, 4 of them.
Wheatra up to Matthew Motlop, drops the mark, able to recover the spillage, and in space, Shillabeer drops yet another mark, picks it up nicely, goes to Jonas Nicky on the right boot, kicks poorly, looking for Simpson, perhaps a bit too Simpson conscious. He had 3 onto 1. The 3 win out, perhaps. Ball now in the hands of Callum Groves. Feigns to handball about 3 times and then kicks long. Down centre wing. Soccer away there. The race is on. Good kicker was too from Brodie McMahon. Lloyd Johnston will get there first unless he's beaten for it by the boundary. And that almost has to be deliberate, doesn't it?
It's got to be deliberate.
He kicked it. There was no one there. The boundary line wins. And ultimately, Palmerston win. Charlie, that is an incredible decision. That is deliberate every day of the week.
No player within 30 metres of that. Not at all. And he kicked it.
I guess because he kept running after it, maybe, but no excuse there. Stafford couldn't get rid of it quick enough. The umpire let him go. Magpies in there forward 50, gets it out to Riddick. Riddick picks it up, goes back to Lampton. Lampton goes back again to the centre square. Williams, they're losing ground here, the Magpies. Just so much pressure applied by Wanderers. Motlop picks it up. That's Matthew Motlop. Bo O'Connell is running through the centre square all by himself as the siren sounds as he delivers it into the 50. What a quarter again by Wanderers. Absolutely on fire here at Marara, Charlie. The Magpies have a lot of work to do. do in the second half.
9-4 to 4-3 here at half-time. Just a quick couple of comments before we go back into the studio. But most of the play, again, in that forward line for Wanderers, their game plan is still the same. Kick it, plan to kick it to Simpson or Shillabeer, and if they're double tagged, look for other players around. They're first to the ball, Wanderers, and their tackling has just been superb. Palmerston, no clear system yet to emerge from them. I didn't see them last week in that great win that they had against the Darwin Buffaloes. Tash, did you see them? I mean, how much different is this performance today to what you saw last week?
You know what great mates Territorians can be. Always willing to lend a hand, or something else. So if they ever ask to borrow your car, as you know they will, you can say yes, knowing that your TIO comprehensive car insurance has them covered. Same as you. It's good to know. So get a quote today. TIO. We're for Territorians.
This weekend is our CFS Gear Umpires Round.
To say thanks to our existing umpires.
And to find our next umpiring superstars.
Show us your best holding the ball.
Your best push in the back.
And even your best holding the player.
If you think you are the next best NTFL umpire,
Come to our open training each Tuesday and Thursday night.
From 5:30 p.m. at TIO Stadium.
For more information and to sign up, visit umpire.afl.
Absolutely zero.
zero. Yeah, definitely.
It has to be zero.
Yes. Yep.
Absolutely.
I don't think that's asking too much.
Domestic violence is everybody's business.
And it's not just the physical abuse, it's the things we don't see.
It is hurting our families. It is killing our families.
A lot of people have been silent to this fact, and I think it's about time we all speak up together and say no more to this form of abuse.
No more.
No more. No more family violence.
No more to the family violence.
No more. No more.
No more.
Listen up, kids. Make school your story. Help you succeed and rise to glory.
Safe to go to school.
So go the distance. Attend every day. Learn and listen. School holiday rockin', we love our break.
Time with friends and family is always great.
When it's time for school, don't get slack.
It's safe to go to school, can't wait to get back. So don't cut corners.
Do the full term. It's safe to go to school and it's time to learn. So don't cut corners. Do the full term. Make school your story and it's time to learn.
School returns February 2021. Written and authorised by the Northern Territory Government.
Time to escape, cause I'm in need of warmer weather. Sail upon the stream to find there's someplace better. And I'm going far and wide.
Great Northern Brewing Co. The beer from up here.
On Territory roads, anything can happen. So you need to drive to the conditions. Speeding can get you into all sorts of trouble. Dirt roads aren't just dusty. When it's hard to see, they're dangerous. At water crossings, remember, you're driving a motor car, not a boat. High water can be deep trouble. All sorts of animals can be on the road, so watch out. And if the weather is bad, slow down, you mob. Drive to the conditions and arrive in good condition.
The
Time to kickstart your businesses now. Get your message across with the experienced local TV production team at Kick Digital. Cost effective, rapid turnaround, exceptional service. Kick Digital. Television production energised.
CFS Schoolwear is the perfect choice for quality custom-made school uniforms. Ideal for all school-related activities. 50 or 500 students, we have what you need. Contact CFS Gear for your free CFS Schoolwear quote today.
Vaccinate to protect our players,
To protect our coaches.
to protect our umpires,
To protect our supporters.
To protect our game.
Head to the Danila Dilba website for more information.
Getting my hands on the footy and just being with my mates.
I like being outdoors. It just makes me happy. I don't like it when I get yelled at.
It's pretty embarrassing when someone's shouting at you halfway through the game.
It makes me feel like I'm useless and I can't do anything.
We're just kids.
We're just here to have fun.
Let us do what we love.
Just let kids be kids.
You know Territorians are a hardy bunch. Hats off to you. Whether you're new or you've been here forever, we know what the weather can throw at us. That's why TIO Home Insurance covers your home for cyclone, storm surge and flood. It's good to know. And with the only contact centre, claims team and assessors based in the Territory, we're here when you need us most. TIO, we're for Territorians.
AFL Northern Territory would like to remind spectators that congregating at the team huddles is not permitted during the breaks.
positive. Obviously, they had a great first half. They just want to keep that pressure up and get the clean ball, because there have been a couple of little errors. We didn't see too many of them, but a couple errors sneaking into their game there. So get rid of those and keep that pressure up, and they're pretty certain they'll have a good second half.
Good on you, Anthony. Thanks for that. Anthony Moody with us. Tash, can you get Palmerston up here in the second half?
Oh, I wish, Charlie. It just still even looked a little bit flat down there at half time, and seen a few supporters go into the air-conditioned box, but they come out a little bit of a warm-up, but it's going to be very, very hard, Charlie. I just think by the way Wanderers are playing in this first half, it's going to take a miracle, so I do believe in miracles, and I hope it can happen.
Down by 7-1. Let's go to Dominic McCormack.
Ruck contest. Corbett into the ruck for the Palmerston Magpies. Goes high up against Caleb Nicky. Wins it down. Nicky's second effort was fantastic. Got it to O'Connell. O'Connell out wide to Jones-Cabillo. His kick was cut off by Lampton. And got a big shove in the back after he kicked it too. Target down there was Stafford. Couldn't reel it in. No free kick downfield. So there's a boundary throw in 30 metres around from the Palmerston goal, left forward pocket. Good positive play though to start this third quarter. All important third quarter too here for the Maggies. They must make an impact. Ruck contest going up all by himself. William Rowbottom wins it down. Stafford takes it, gets it away to Toshi Kunoth, bounces it into the goal square, and a free kick paid for a hold against Chris Williams. So that free kick is going to go to the Eagles captain in Braden McLean.
Oh, Chris, not good enough, just not good enough. Chance there to get a goal, and they really desperately need it. They need to be within a couple of goals at three-quarter time to win it.
Have to get the first goal of this quarter, sure. Charlie. So McLean plays on now after being made to come around on his mark. Kicks it out wide to O'Connell. O'Connell's close to the boundary line, goes inboard and finds Nicky. It's Caleb Nicky, hand passes to a running player, McLean. McLean to Motlop, back to McLean, kept on running. Simpson was all by himself but couldn't hit the target. Nan gets back there, runs around Simpson, delivers to Baird, but it's chopped off by Matthew Motlop. Close to the boundary, centre wing, he's called to play on. He goes back to his captain and McLean. Directly on centre wing here, the Eagles. Looking to switch, goes inboard to Warwick Williams. Has Johnson in the centre circle. Ignores that. Plays on. It's a big thumping kick. Groves is third up, gets a fist to it. Erlinson picks it up, then gives it out wide to a running Matthew Motlop. He couldn't take it. 3-on-1. Matthew Motlop goes in for a second crack. He puts the pressure under the Palmerston defenders. An errant kick goes out to Marcus Totham. Beautiful skills. Picks it up at 50. Kicks it towards Simpson, but it's gone out of bounds on the full. Good play there by Wanderers. A great pickup by Marcus Totham on the run. And unfortunately, he couldn't get it through the big sticks.
One of the senior players now. He's only junior not that long ago, but he's a good player, isn't he? And Bo O'Connell starting to lift his performance too. Not 50-50 from him in the first half.
Kick from Anand, dropped by Riddick. Right where you don't want to, on the paint of defensive 50. Somehow they get the ball into the hands of Eric Guthrie. Streams through half back. Handball comes from William Rowbottom. Goes out wide there to Chris Williams. Pass up to a teammate in Ugle, who promptly drops it. And the ball out of bounds for yet another boundary throw in.
And the task was too great for Ugle, wasn't it, from Williams? It needed to be a better kick, Tom.
Needed to be better. William Rowbottom again lining up in the ruck here against Caleb Nicky. Rowbottom up high, wins it down to Guthrie, taken in a good tackle. Dispossessed, play on, says the umpire. Now the Eagles in control. Handball out to Matthew Motlop. Had an enterprising start to this third quarter. Out to Fijo, drills a pass beautifully to Jerome Motlop, finds him in the corridor, takes the mark, 45 from goal. Handballs off to Schillebeer, the long bomb. Don't even ask the question, of course it is. It's straight through for a goal. Schillebeer, another great kick, 3 goals on the board, and they hit the board first with a major in this third quarter.
Tom, can I say this? That was a great goal, there's no doubt. Wanderers' great goal. They set it up perfectly. Palmerston stood there and let them pass 3 times to players unmarked down on the half-forward line. You just can't do that in a footy match. That's going to be the result. That's what happens when you're not prepared to man up.
Yep, can't say anything other than I agree with you, Charlie. They're just not working hard enough, are they?
No, I agree. Totally agree. And so Corbett's gone into the ruck. How good's Nicky been in the ruck?
Oh, he's been fantastic.
He's been great. Getting the ball.
Not a tall man either.
No, getting the ball to ground level. He's got a great leap on him and just contesting with the bodywork. And again, one-on-one against Corbett. So no ruckman really dominated that one. Guthrie gets his head taken off, wins the free kick.
There's about 4 Nickies that we know playing over the years. None of them were rucks.
No, just that jump. We had a young girl playing in ruck today, and she's smaller than me, Charlie. So Corbett takes the mark in front of Warwick Williams. Not easy to do, and it's a mongrel kick again by the Magpies into 50. That's the second one in a row. And yeah, that was too high in the end. Wanderers play on quickly. Magpies again, just flat-footed, waited for the whistle, the umpire. This is going to bounce over the boundary line directly in front of our commentary box. But again, the free kick, Magpies stood still, Wanderers kept running.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're just not linking up, the Magpies, and when they do kick it into the forward line, they're just not hitting a target. And Bo O'Connell and Ugle are going at it. Boundary throw in. Corbett again against Tipalura. Corbett gets it back, tries to get it to Guthrie, does. He gets through traffic. He's in the open, and again, a free kick going the other way. So Brendan Ugle's just giving away stupid free kicks here for the Magpies, and they bring him off, and now they're telling him he's not happy here, and the free kick is going the way to Warwick Williams. Dominic, you take it over. This is just silly play by the Magpies.
In fact, the free kick here, Erlinson. Erlinson's got it. Yes, Ugle not happy, but Wanderers, they are playing the calmer and more positive footy here. Long kick down towards Shillabeer. It's taken around the neck, no free kick. Palmerston come away with it, kick up towards Corbett. He almost went for the mark and then called out of it by Rowbottom, who did take the mark. He delivers to Wharf, who just kicks and hopes. The high up and under. Underneath it, Braden McLean. Not even going for the ball there was Rudy Riddick. So McLean out wide, goes to Johnston, takes the mark under pressure from Max Sutton. Plays on quickly. That has been their style today. Get the ball moving fast. He goes to Wheatra. Takes the mark. He was held up for a moment by Wharf. Now the little chip. Unintentionally, I think, to Fijo. Off hands goes to Jerome Motlop. Quickly into forward 50. Simpson shoved in the back. No mark to Anand. Manages to tap the ball sideways to Baird. Calmly he goes to Green. Taken in a tackle. Taken high. Play on, says the umpire. Flanagan gets the ball. Goes to Anand. His kick is poor. Tried to be cute with it. Coming in strongly was Shillabeer. He's taken, brought to ground.
He's on top of the footy.
And the umpire says, no, that's okay. I'll take it and I'll ball it up.
Bit of feeling going into this game. The umpires need to keep control, Charlie. Otherwise, we could see a bit of a push and stuff, maybe a biff starting out there.
Driven by the frustration that Palmerston are feeling because it's just not working for them.
And Wanderers just need to not retaliate. They're in front. They're winning the footy. Groves gets over the top. That's got to be a free kick.
Unrealistic attempt.
Absolutely, no doubt about it. He's going the other way, so it's going to be a 50 as well. Yeah. So Shillabeer is going to be taken to the goal line. The umpire got mixed up then and was starting to march the other way. But Shillabeer will go to the goal line. Nan will stand the mark, and Shillabeer will go back and kick his 4th goal, his 2nd for this quarter. And there it goes. As he goes and gets the footy. What a good fella he is for the umpires.
Well, that was just silly, wasn't it, Charlie? Because Callum Groves leapt up, had both hands on Shillabeer's shoulders.
Yeah.
This is a ruck contest, not a mark. This is a ruck contest. Both hands on the shoulders to leap up and take the free kick every day of the week.
Always going to be a free kick. Gosh. Just some undisciplined play, driven by the frustration, I think, probably for Palmerston here, but they're in real trouble. 11 goals, 11 goals 6 to 4 goals 3.
And you're right, Charlie, the ill discipline as well is really creeping in to the Magpies, and that's the last thing that Joshy Heath wants as coach.
Joshy, he'd be really disappointed in his performance.
And I'm glad, you know, and good coaching as well. He dragged off Ugle straight away.
Yeah.
Wasn't happy about it, but that's what you've got to do as a coach.
And Ugle still, he won't sit in the box. He's standing there fuming. He needs to get over it in a hurry.
So Warwick Williams through the centre square for Wanderers. Paddles it to himself, then gets taken without the footy. Williams gets up and retaliates against McMahon. So he just needs to go back. He's won the free kick. Wasn't happy with it.
He'll lose it. He's got the free kick. Go back and have the kick.
You know, you're in front, Wanderers. They just need to not bite here. They're putting the bait out, Magpies, here to try and get them off their game. Wheatra switches the play to Johnson. Johnson can play on, just dances around Wharf too easily. Has a bounce. Delivers it into the 50. A poor kick in the end with pressure put on. Stanley Tipalura gets there. Keeps it in front. Jerome Motlop is there as well. He doesn't need him. Good work by Guthrie. Numbers are here for Wanderers. Tipalura gets it back to Johnson. Johnson looks out wide and found Marcus Totem. He dropped the mark. I think the sun must have got in his eyes. Groves is there as well. Marcus Totham goes in for a second crack. McMasters picks it up. Tipalura tried to claim the mark and he took it 2 metres. Couldn't fool the umpire that time. Wanderers bang it back into the corridor in the 50. Number of Magpie players get involved. They go to ground. Bit of holding on there. The umpire says play on Shea for Magpies. Tries to get it out and picked up in the end by Nan. He's going to clear it out of the defensive 50, but I'm not sure for how long.
And up towards Rowbottom. Couldn't take the mark, and a free kick given for a push.
Hand was in the back.
Yeah, free kick goes here to Brodie Newman. Been a very impressive player yet again, Brodie Newman. Outstanding last season for them. Dances around, finally kicks long to the 30-metre mark, inside 50. Tackle laid, play on, says the umpire. Palmerston over the footy. Marcus Totham tries to go in. Anand, I think it is there as well. Laying a tackle, Tipalura. 3 or 4 Magpies there, and Keelan Fijo helping them up.
And you know what's missing from this is good, strong defensive marks. You know, people in defence to jump and take a big mark.
Well, Simpson just takes that ball out of the ruck contest, gets a kick away. Erlinson can't handle. Guthrie comes in. He can't pick it up. Jones-Cabillo just shuffles it towards the boundary line and takes it over. They'll start again cleanly from a boundary throw in 55 metres around from the Eagles' goal.
And look at the line they've got here. Johnson. They've got Keenan Smith-Thompson all by themselves.
Just lined up across.
Yeah, just the wall here. So boundary throw in. Corbett shoves Simpson out the way, put his hands up, but Newman in the right spot again in front of behind Rowbottom. Took an uncontested mark, goes inboard to Wheatra. Wheatra hasn't had to do much.
They're lined up again, look.
Here they go. Wheatra hasn't had to do too much today, so he's running forward to get involved, I reckon. He can get it back. No. Good mark taken there by Tipalura. That's John. John looks out wide. It's a poor kick. It's chopped off by Toshi Kernoff. Has had an absolutely quiet game here today. Goes over to Flanagan. Just no urgency to go forward, Charlie. They don't have time. They need to attack here. So Baird goes to Cole. They're still in the defensive 50. They're going to kick their 5th kick and still in the defensive 50, and a good tackle nearly applied there by Cabillo, just shrugged it off. Anand. Wharf takes the mark just outside the defensive 50 now. They've had about 8 kicks and they haven't gained 60 metres yet. He goes up the line. Underneath it is Corbett. In front was McLean. Kernoff's there. Gives it to Shea. Shea from Magpies is under the pump. Needs to get rid of it. Picked up by Santos. Gets it out to Johnson. Johnson dropped the footy. The umpire says to let go of the tackle. Erlinson drives it to the 50. Cole picks it up for the Magpies. Needs to look up. He does. He gives it to Buckland. He's got no idea what he's doing. Goes sideways 5 metres to Wharf. Wharf's going to go down the line looking for Ugle that's just come on. Newman at the back. Dropped a mark he should have taken, and it's out of bounds right in front of the interchange for Wanderers.
Well, that minute of play just showed the absolute frustration the Palmerston Magpies team is going through at the moment. Not sure exactly what they're trying to do.
So boundary throw in now, taken out of the ruck by Rowbottom. Got it away here to Levi Greig. Tried to palm off a player, ended up kicking the ball using the one hand to guide it down. Got it up to Stafford. Stafford can't pick it up. Newman does. Newman's legged, and that will be called. Gee, Ugle going in again, trying to take out DeSantis there. He is not focused on the footy at all, is Ugle. Newman with his free kick. Spots up Warwick Williams, who's just having a picnic out there this afternoon. That was a poor kick, though. Cut off now by Baird. Goes to a teammate in Lambton. Kick is poor. Cut off by Williams, but he couldn't take the mark. Goes to the opposite number in Chris Williams. His handball to Corbett was poor. Erlinson, handball to Wheatra. Wheatra's kick is good. Goes to Simpson. Takes the mark. Keenan Smith-Thompson now streaking down the opposite wing, and he goes in that direction. Baird is there. Got to get a fingernail to it. Goes to the back. Keenan Smith-Thompson takes it. He will have the pace for him. Will have his shot on goal. That's a poor effort by both players. Keenan Smith-Thompson just couldn't make up his mind what he was going to do. Ended up having a shot which was a poor one, and kicks a behind that just rolled through to the left-hand side. Palmerston 4-3-27, trailing the Eagles 11-6-72.
Anthea, hearing anything down there?
Yeah, you can really feel the frustration down here in the box, not just by the players, but even by the supporters. It must be pretty difficult to watch for them as well.
I'm one of the supporters. So Magpies try to get it forward again. It's cut off again by Wanderers. Just set up that wall. Fijo gives it to Santos. DeSantos delivers it into the 50. It gets to the back of the pack and trickles over the boundary line in the right forward pocket here for Wanderers. They can reset and they'll set that line, that wall again, Charlie, and the 60-metre line. They just set here the muck-mucks.
And Palmerston had 4 players to 3 down there when that ball came in and knocked it over the boundary line. Use your extra player. Draw a player, the opposition player, and give a handball.
So the boundary umpire is ready to throw it in. I reckon that's a Palmerston supporter that you could hear yelling there. It falls short. The umpire lets it go. It nearly takes out the boundary umpire. It headed straight back to him. Not enough in that throw that time.
Now here's a challenge for the ruckman to work out that there's not going to be a big throw in. So
let's see where they stand this time. But if it falls short, Charlie, I think it's Simpson that's doing that ruck.
They're nearly 20 metres away from the boundary umpire as he throws this in. Let's see how far it goes.
No,
went about 5 metres.
Yeah, so Simpson read it best, but Buckland at the back. Big hit put on Flanagan. Getting through is McMahon. He's tapped it in front. It's close to the boundary and it goes out. Well done, McMahon. He had no help whatsoever. Wanderers come in and it's out of bounds directly in front of our commentary box for a boundary throw-in.
McMahon, that was good running from him. He tried to keep it in play and it just got away from him after he'd beaten a couple of Wanderers players.
So boundary throw-in again. There's been a few of them this afternoon. Nicky looking to go up against Rowbottom. Rowbottom gets himself in front, wins it down, goes to his captain in Chris Williams, skirts through the pack, gets a quick kick away on the right boot. Brodie Newman cutting it off again, just in front, wanting the footy. Now uses it well and goes to Wheatrey, drops a mark he normally would wrap up, and then Guthrie ducks his head nicely, does a Joel Selwood, I'll put it that way.
Yeah, it was.
And Daniel Wheatrey takes him high and he gets the free kick. So Guthrie here, centre wing, Morris Rioli grandstand side, goes with the left boot, target down there Corbett, flying high was Johnston, comes off his hands and goes to the back of the pack for another boundary throw in on the paint of 50. Wanderers just trying to keep them out and Palmerston edging their way forward.
Body language of Magpies, Charlie, isn't too positive at the moment, is it? Even going into the 50, if they don't get the ball, there's no second or third efforts in there at the moment like Wanderers, so they really need to kick the next couple of goals. It doesn't look likely. Corbett gets it down to Williams. Williams is absolutely crunched by 3 Wanderers players. As soon as he got that ball, he was under pressure. So ball up right on the paint of 50 here for the Maggies. Corbett's bodied out of the way. Good shepherd put on by Nicky. There's that running man again in Newman. And after he kicked the footy, they got the numbers here, the Magpies. Let's see what they can do this time. Rowbottom kicks it to 2 on 3. The 3 were the muck-mucks. Coming through was Matthew Motlop, tackled as he kicked it, but still got his kick away. Groves will get there first, tries to kick it off the ground, picked up by Bo O'Connell. He can have a ping, he does. And Nan will run back there. How does it bounce? And he just gets there to make sure it goes through for a behind. I reckon that bounce maybe looked like it was on target, so fortunate there. And as Nan got there, he's got cramp as well, so through for a behind.
Great effort from Bo O'Connell on the left foot. Was the only decision he had to make, really, was have a crack.
There was no one there, was there?
Flanagan brings the ball back into play, goes to Lambton. Lambton on the left boot, could be cut off. Bo O'Connell puts the pressure on. Palmerston in a little bit of trouble here. Handball comes out to Williams. Totham did well, got the footy. Handball up to Simpson. Great handball on the up to Matthew Motlop. Goes on the left boot and kicks the goal. Forward pressure from the Eagles yields the full result.
3 unanswered goals from Wanderers in this quarter, and poor old Palmerston, they're just absolutely spent. They have no idea what to do next, but Wanderers are playing good footy. There's no doubt about it. They've been exceptionally good today, and probably the worst opponent that Palmerston would want to have to come up against today.
Charlie, one of their best players for the last 3 rounds has been Rudy Riddick. He's absolutely been smothered today by Dylan DeSantos. He's done a brilliant job, and You know, he's tagged him, and you don't see a tag very often up here in footy, but he has tagged him that well that Riddick cannot get his hands a clean possession whatsoever, and he's been probably our most dominant player in the first 3 rounds, especially those 2 wins. And he's in the midfield, and they're trying to break that tag, but DeSantos just isn't letting him have an inch.
And Guthrie, he's been held, and Levi Grigg as well. Those 3 big guns have all had really little influence, although Grigg's kicked a couple of goals.
So Wanderers clear that, comes down to Fijo. He can have a shot on goal. He kicks the goal, so within 15 seconds of the ball up, Wanderers have another goal. Corbett won the tap down, but it was sharked straight away by Matthew Motlop for Wanderers, who kicked it forward. It bounced, and Fijo gathered very, very easily. No one around him, swings around and kicks it through the big sticks.
That noise you just heard with Palmerston putting the cue back in the rack. I reckon they decided they can't win this game.
I'm scared for the last quarter, Charlie. Very scared for the last quarter.
And how disappointing for them after that fantastic effort against the Darwin Buffaloes last week. 41-point winners to come here and get absolutely humiliated. Never really looked in it. That first quarter, Wanderers dominated, and here we are almost 3/4 time. Let's push that lead out further now. 13-7 to 4-3, almost 3/4 time.
Let's see what they can show here. Corbett in the ruck must give them something. Goes up and wins the tap. Gets in a second tap as well. Gets it to Rudy Riddick. Handballs away, but there's nobody running. John Tipalora picks up. Goes to Keenan Smith-Thompson. Lovely ball from him. Goes to Fijo. Can't mark the footy. Second effort was excellent. On the up, gets a handball away to Matthew Motlop. Good handball from him to Bo O'Connell. Little chip out sideways looking for Shillabeer. Shillabeer taps it to his own advantage. Pursuing him is Callum Groves, and he just takes it out over the boundary line, and they'll butter up again from a 50-50 opportunity with the boundary throw in. Right half forward here, favouring the Eagles. They are on the move. 20.5 minutes gone in this third quarter. 13-7-85 plays Palmerston. 4-3-27. Eagles in the lead. Corbett wins it down again from that ruck contest. DeSantis taps it towards the boundary. Can't call that one, boundary umpire, or central umpire I should say. There's no way that's a deliberate if the others weren't, and they haven't called it. So a boundary throw in again, right in the middle of the centre wing here, Morris Rioli grandstand side. So
Corbett uses his body well. He's winning the tap down, but Magpies midfielders just aren't getting the ball after that. So picked up by McLean. McLean delivers it to Stanley Tipalura. Falls to the back. Clarence Baird has a paddock in front of him. Not much to kick to. Kernoff now makes the lead. He'll get there. Drops the mark. So he's got to get up. One-on-one out there with Johnson. Johnson puts in a great effort, kicks it off the ground. The numbers get there for Wanderers before the Magpies. Handball towards Joel Cabillo. Joel Cabillo needs to get rid of it. He does now to John Tipalura. Magpies just no urgency. Guthrie picks it up, gives it to Flanagan. Flanagan will come through the centre. He's kicked it to a 1-on-4. Chris Williams can't take the mark. Brings it to ground level. Sutton can't pick it up either for the Maggies, and it gets out the back to McLean for Wanderers. Hand passes it out to Smith-Thompson. They were screaming for it in the middle. Marcus Tottenham was all by himself, but it goes back to the Magpies through centre wing. They'll look for Levi Grigg.
Good mark.
Takes the mark just inside the boundary. Again, a 1-on-4. Johnson gets into the back of Rowbottom, but he tripped, and the umpire says that's okay, and it goes over the boundary line directly on the 50. There's going to be a boundary throw in the 50, the forward end for the Magpies.
Scoreless quarter here for Palmerston. 4-3 at half-time, 4-3 now with only seconds left in this third term.
Boundary throw in. Up goes Rowbottom. Ball by himself. Takes the ball out. Tried to handball away to Riddick. Couldn't find him. DeSantis takes the footy. Quick kick as he wheeled around is out of bounds on the full. And having to jump the fence out there. I think it might be Jackson Cole. In fact, it's Ryan Wharf jumping the fence. John Tipalora to stand the mark at centre wing. Siren sounds. So for all that effort from Ryan Wharf, he doesn't even get to have a stat. So three-quarter time here at Marara Oval. Wanderers with a handsome lead. 13-7-85 to Palmerston's 4-3-27.
You know what great mates Territorians can be. Always willing to lend a hand or something else. So if they ever ask to borrow your car, as you know they will, you can say yes, knowing that your TIO comprehensive car insurance has them covered. Same as you. It's good to know. so get a quote today. TIO. We're for Territorians. Kazali's Palmerston Club has been renovated. Come check out our brand new cafe, open 7 days a week. And with the new Kids Club, we are the perfect spot for a worry-free catch-up with friends. Enjoy hot meals with nightly specials at the bistro or cold drinks at the sports bar. Feeling lucky? Have a go at the latest machines in our gaming lounge or grab your mates for a round of pool. Family gathering or casual meetings, we have something for everyone. Kazali's Palmerston Club, making a difference.
This weekend is our CFS Gear Umpires Round.
To say thanks to our existing umpires.
And to find our next umpiring superstars.
Show us your best holding the ball.
Your best push in the back.
And even your best holding the player.
If you think you are the next best NTFL umpire,
Come to our open training each Tuesday and Thursday night.
From 5:30 p.m. at TIO Stadium.
For more information and to sign up, visit umpire.afl.
Time to escape, 'cause I'm in need of warmer weather. Sail upon the stream to find there's someplace better. And I'm going far and wide.
Great Northern Brewing Co., the beer from up here.
You know Territorians are a hardy bunch. Hats off to you. Whether you're new or you've been here forever, we know what the weather can throw at us. That's why TIO Home Insurance covers your home for cyclone, storm surge and flood. It's good to know. And with the only contact centre, claims team and assessors based in the Territory, we're here when you need us most. TIO, we're for Territorians.
AFL Northern Territory would like to remind spectators that congregating at the team huddles is not permitted during the breaks.
That Buffaloes game. I know you kept asking me on our Sunday chats, Tasha, is it the real deal? Is it the real deal? And I said, yep, they played well against Tiwi, but they were their 2 wins last year. They played well against the Buffaloes, but I thought the Buffaloes really faded out in that second half. And this was the game that I thought, this will show whether they're the real deal. And to me, it hasn't yet. And I'm a Palmerston supporter.
So what be a good thing for you to do is put down 0-0 to 0-0 in this last quarter and have a look who wins the last quarter. Who's about to get underway with Dominic McCormick?
William Rowbottom He's been a serviceable ruckman. He's lining up here against Nicky, who's been outstanding for his size. The ball comes to him after William Rowbottom got a fingernail to it. Nicky tumbles a punt up to centre half forward. Mark by DeSantis. Quick handball off to Bo O'Connell. Little chip into Stanley Tipalora, was just a bit short. He couldn't handle. Coming in well was Jackson Cole. Got a handball away to Baird. He was confronted there by Bo O'Connell. Socked the footy towards the boundary. Out of bounds for a boundary throw-in.
Tom, can I say, Bo O'Connell, his little short kicks sometimes let him down, but he's one of those players, his 1%ers are really, really good. He does all the little things all of the time. He's a busy and very good player.
Umpire throws it in. Rowbottom works to the front. Guthrie gets it. Hand passes to a player under pressure, Williams. Chrissy Williams needs to lift as the captain of Maggies this season. Stafford needs to get in front. Tried to use his body off the ground. Gives it to Sutton running past. And he's tackled, pushed off the ball by McLean. McLean's under pressure by Toshi Kernoff. Has had the most quietest game I've ever seen him have in the Magpie colours. Chrissy Williams gets in there again. Hand passes it to Spates. Riddick needs to turn. He does. And finds Ugle. Brendan Ugle needs to go back and kick this goal. He owes it to the Maggies, and he goes inboard to Des Corbett. That's done well in the ruck, and he goes through and kicks the goal for the Magpies. The Magpies' first goal since half-time, and they've got one on the board. Took a little bit of work. Chrissy Williams, as the captain, was in there. 2 efforts. That was good to see, linking up. Again, just Stafford just been very, very quiet. Can't seem to get in front of that lead now. I know he did have a leg injury, and that's why he didn't play last week, Charlie, but just needs to get in front there for the Magpies.
Well, bring him out to centre half forward. You know,
he's a big unit.
They scrapped that right out, didn't they, Palmerston?
It wasn't easy.
They played really. They
you look
just
at the
kept
names,
working.
Charlie, in that forward line. Stafford, Corbett, Toshi Kernoff. That's 3 out of 6. They are quality names.
Yeah. And Riddick. He's a waffle player.
Yeah.
So, disappointing. Let's see what they can do, because they need to show something for their supporters here, the Maggies.
They're within 53 points.
Rowbottom up against Nicky. Rowbottom clearly wins it away. Guthrie soccers it through. In fact, it was Grigg. Does it again. Couldn't pick up the footy. Crashes in over the top. Riddick gathers. Torpedo towards goal, which was accidental from 48 metres. And it's out of bounds on the full. Again, perhaps just not calm enough dealing with the footy there. Very easy to say from the commentary box.
You know, difficult when you're kicking around your body and you manage to come up with a torpedo.
Very difficult. Nicky finds his teammate there in Nathan Jones-Cabillo. Been serviceable for the Eagles. Goes back to Nicky. That's Jonas. Just takes off from Corbett, who doesn't really chase hard at all. Ball goes to Daniel Wheatra out wide. Now they're outside defensive 50. Lovely kick up towards Johnston. Leapt high in the air but couldn't touch the footy. Flanagan right there. Grabs hold of the footy but can't stop it from going over the boundary line, and it'll be a boundary throw in. Centre wing on the far side. We've gone 3 minutes in this last quarter. The Palmerston Magpies have the only goal on the board. They're 5-3-33, trailing the Eagles 13-8-86.
We're in front so far in this quarter, Charlie. My 0-0 starting. Boundary throw-in. Wanderers get it out through Johnson. Johnson hand passes it to Warwick Williams on his own, streaming into the 50, and just kicks it over the top of Stanley Tipalura. But well done to Clarence Baird. Chops it off, gets it out towards Toshi Kernoff. Doesn't hit him, but on the bounce he takes it. Kicks it up to Wharf. Wharf went to play on. That should be 50. I thought Jerome Motlop got very, very close there. Finds Ugle. Get on centre wing. Has Kernoff running past. Not much to kick to. Goes inboard to Lambton. Good call out by Sutton. Sutton takes the mark. Still.
So they're waiting for, each player's waiting for somebody to make a move.
Now Stafford moves up and he takes the mark. He should have drops the mark he should have taken, sorry. Brandon Ugle fumbled, then tries to get it back to a player, Sutton. And Stafford does not look right. He just does not look right. No. He does not look fit. As soon as he dropped that mark, he couldn't do a second effort.
Yeah, and he's walking back really slowly.
He's under an injury cloud, sorry. So a boundary thrown directly in front of our commentary box.
Umpire takes his time. Rowbottom again to go up against Nicky. Rowbottom wins it. gets it to himself, somehow manages to get a disposal away. Michaelis McMaster's the high up and under. The flyer was McLean, couldn't take the mark. In hard there was Ash Buckland, did beautifully, got the ball out the back but taken away by Matthew Motlop. Then to the run of his captain in McLean, and speaking of run, across the half back line to Wheatra. Wheatra, beautiful kick infield, finds Marcus Totham on the up. He picked up the footy, got it away to DeSantis at right half forward. Long kick up towards Tipalora, came off hands. Keenan Smith-Thompson couldn't pick it up. Tipalora taken out of it without the footy. Play on, said the umpire. Ball caught 25 metres out from goal. Play on again, says the umpire. Wharf got a handball away. Jerome Motlop, ball bobbling around, comes to John Tipalora, gathers it, snaps on goal, and somehow manages to kick it over his right shoulder as he was in the corridor and kicks it out of bounds on the full.
About 25 metres around.
25 metres out.
Jeez, John Tipalora was unlucky not to get a free kick. He was absolutely smashed.
Poleaxe there without the footy. So Palmerston to take the free kick now through Clarence Baird deep in the left back pocket.
Now, absolutely no one is moving for him. Now Chrissy Williams does the captain. It's an up and under kick. It needed to be at his chest. He nearly took the mark, but he's against 3. Comes to ground. Wanderers have the numbers. Kicked in by Totham. Totham into the hot spot. Simpson dropped the mark he should have taken. Leaves it in front. John Tipalora gets the hand pass to Stanley Tipalora, but Magpies cut it off through Flanagan. Flanagan kicks it out towards Shea. Brody Newman one-on-one, just too easy at ground level in the end, needs to get rid of it. He doesn't. He's caught holding the footy. It's the only mistake he's done all game, Charlie. Brody Newman, he's been a massive inclusion for them. So Jaden Shea will take the free kick in the defensive 50 for the Magpies.
But good pressure from the Magpies, wasn't it?
Good pressure indeed. Lights on here at Marara, and they're still using the red footy from the change from yellow to red in the first quarter. Johnston takes the mark, the turnover immediate. Goes by hand to Braden McLean. He goes laterally to DeSantos. Again, right across to the other side to Warwick Williams. Drops the footy, has enough time to gather. Then steps and runs around Buckland. Goes long, looking for Stanley Tipalora. Well cut off there by Jackson Cole. Spillage to Keelan Fijo. And the umpire says incorrect disposal. Free kick to be taken by Jackson Cole.
Jackson Cole will take the kick in defensive 50. He's looking to switch. He needs to make sure he hits a target. Groves is out there. Shillaby chases him. He stands the mark now. Groves, where's the next kick going to go to? Guthrie takes the mark in the centre square. Just gets around Wheatra a little bit too easy then. Hits Ruddock. Riddick takes the mark and kicks it into the centre, into the goal square, and it dribbles through for a goal. Finally, the Magpies have their second as well for this quarter, Charlie. It still was a little bit hard and scrappy, but in the end, they got the goal through Rudy Riddick. As I said, been very dominant the last 2 games for the Magpies, but has been absolutely smothered by DeSantos today, so they put him into the forward line.
So not a bad effort here so far in this last term by Palmerston, who trailed badly at 3/4 time, 13-7 to 4-3. It's now 13-8 to 5. Is that 5-3? 6-3. 6-3. They kicked a couple of goals. Corbett's got a goal and Riddick's got a goal.
Correct, Charlie. There should be 6-3 at scoreboard.
So they're winning this final quarter, Taz. You can feel a bit relieved. Not over yet.
Last quarter wins, you know, like the last score wins.
Last score wins. Shows the way the game's decided.
Ball back in the middle now. 86 plays 39. Scoreboard's caught up. Ball won by Palmerston, but out to Johnston. He's taken high. That was just clumsy play there.
Hasn't he been a great player today, Johnston? Just fantastic. A superb, sublime effort from him.
You lose Mitchell Taylor, and there's Lloyd Johnston. He's just a lookalike.
Very hard for the 3-2-1 today for Wanderers, I feel.
Yeah.
Ball off to Warwick Williams now, off to Bo O'Connell. And look at that, quick decision, player in the clear, hits him on the chest straight away. Found Totham, Totham does exactly the same, goes to Warwick Williams, who just moved downfield, taking it right half forward. Handballs off to Brody Newman. Newman a good kick out wide to Stanley Tipalora. Doesn't take the mark, second effort is good, gathers. Handball was poor to Fijo. Bo O'Connell working hard there again, gathers, wheels around on the left boot. Marcus Totham picks it up on the first bounce, somehow gets it to Williams. He just goes back by hand to Newman, who just stayed at right half forward. Now he bombs a long kick in, and that bounces and bounces over the boundary line, and it'll be a boundary throw in. 30 metres away from the Eagles goal, right forward pocket at the 9.5 minute mark of this last quarter.
Go down to Anthea.
Yeah, g'day Charlie. Just wandering around down here. I think number 28, is it Dylan Santos? He looks like he's come off. He's wandering around and he's looking a bit sore and sorry for himself. There's sweat pouring out of him everywhere, so I'll keep an eye on that one, but nothing too serious at this stage.
Okay.
Rowbottom takes the mark for the Maggies. Still in the defensive half. Picks it up to a 1-on-4. Wheatra at the front of the pack. He gets it back to his captain. He's got time to fumble McLean. Then gives it back to Wheatra, dead on centre wing. Goes a crossfield to Newman. He's the go-to man from the back line. Bo O'Connell all by himself. How he's not picked up, I'll never know. Bo O'Connell gets around the big ruckman and Rowbottom, puts it to the hot spot. In front nearly was Simpson. Nearly got there. The Magpies have numbers under pressure. Dropped the footy, but Shillabeer had let go of the tackle. Goes in with his body, Shillabeer, and against 5 Magpie players, he gets it over the boundary line and wins his team a boundary throw in deep in the left forward pocket. Just no talk, no shepherding whatsoever there between those 5 Magpie players. Charlie, Shillabeer was just able to come through and take it over the boundary line.
Yeah, did it easily, didn't he? Shillabeer and Simpson both have 4 goals each. They've both been good, haven't they, in this match? Focal points for Wanderers up forward.
Both being terrific players, and Simpson goes up in the ruck contest, doesn't win it. Ball comes to ground, falls to John Tipalora, snaps on goal, and just like he did with the last one, he just goes a bit too far the other way. Kicked it with the right boot straight across the left side and kicked A behind. Baird brings the ball straight back into play really quickly. Nice kick out wide. Finds McMahon. McMahon up towards a teammate there in Stephen Lambton. Finds him at half back. Back to McMahon now on the run. First time that they've really done that this afternoon. The kick is horrific.
1, 2, 3, 4 against 2.
Mark taken out there by Jonas Nicky. He switches across half back to Johnston, who's in 30 metres of space. His kick is delightful. Finds the chest of Jared Erlinson. Again, another player in the clear. Now they set up the contest. Now it's no contest. Bo O'Connell just takes the mark in front of his opponent. Left half forward, now called to play on. Will go long inside 50. Shillabeer the target. 2-on-1. He takes the mark with the one hand. And is it a free kick?
That was
I thought he might have called a push there. I thought the indication was a push, but the one-handed mark taken by Shillabeer as he held off his opponent. He goes to play on. He plays on. The goal umpire was made to do a little bit of work, but Shillabeer kicks the goal. The Eagles' first goal of this last quarter. Shillabeer, it's his 5th. Welcome back to NTFL footy.
Fantastic. 2 in the first, 2 in the third, and 1 here. Edward Simpson, when that kick went into the forward line, walked up and patted Bo O'Connell on the back and said good kick, because he weighted it and landed it between 2 Palmerston defenders. It was a beautiful kick and a really good finish there by Shillabeer. And when you get the forwards rewarding you for the good things that you've done, you play out of your skins, don't you? I wonder what Eddie Betts is thinking. He'd be watching this thinking this is the team I'll be playing with.
I hope that the reception's fallen out. The Wi-Fi's dropped out at Hotel Howard, because I'm not sure if because there was talk that he was going to Wanderers out of these 2 teams.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're thinking Corbett wins the tap down to Sutton. Sutton controls the footy, but then goes inboard when he had Lambton out wide. He could have hand passed it too. He sold himself into trouble. In the end, Nicky wins the free kick to that man O'Connell, running past 2-on-1 Shillabeer. They double team him, but he still gets the ball to his teammate, keeps the ball in. Well done, Shillabeer. Not quite sure what that kick was, but it gets to Fijo in the 50. Tottenham hand passes to Stanley Tipalura, goes back to O'Connell, who deserves a goal. He kicks it around the corner. At the back is Simpson. Simpson tried to use his body against Anand. Anand will get there first. Picked it up, but Simpson's hot on his hammer, and the ball trickles over the boundary line, but it's holding the footy. He had absolutely no chance or prior opportunity to get rid of that. Simpson plays on. He's usually good around the corner. This time he misses it to the near side, so it's through for a behind. Well, I've got not much to say about that call. He just picked up the ball and then didn't even have a second to get rid of it, and they called hold in the footy.
14-10 to 6-3, 14 minutes gone last term.
Baird brings the footy into play, goes to Lambton. Lambton up to Sutton. It's tried hard as Sutton, so too Lambton. Sutton goes laterally. Out towards McMahon.
He's had a quiet game. He's been one of our top 10 players in the last couple of weeks as well.
Another one who's really struggled. Delivers the ball sideways and went to Rowbottom, and the umpire says that that is out of bounds. Rowbottom saying the mark was taken. Was it juggled? What's the call? The umpire says wasn't juggled, therefore it's a mark and it stands. Oh, that one was juggled. Sutton has the two grabs at it, couldn't take it. Spillage goes to Warwick Williams. His handball to his captain in McLean was poor and out of bounds. This time, definitely for a boundary throw in. Right half forward for the Palmerston Magpies. And score check here, the 15-minute mark of this last quarter. Wanderers 14-10-94, Palmerston 6-3-39.
You know, it's getting pretty hard out there for Magpies when one of their water runners is sitting on the bench and not even worrying about running water anymore. So pretty disgusted out there. So Wanderers through the midfield, through Erlinson, just kicks it out wide to a running player in Smith Thompson. Gets it on the boot to Shillabeer against Groves. This has been a good contest. Groves does not have the size or strength of Shillabeer, but he got moved on to Shillabeer after he'd kicked his first 2 goals. Hasn't done too bad considering. He gives up everything, Groves. He goes hard as. So a ball up, 60 around from goal. Groves puts his hand up to ruck, but Ugle goes in there for the Maggies. Chrissy Williams gets it out of the contest, but straight to Brodie Newman. He drops the mark, but regathers. The umpire says play on. He's through that, or it's holding the ball, but the umpire said play on. Guthrie has 3 against him, no help whatsoever. Gets it out to Totham. Totham can backtrack to Erlinson. Erlinson, he put on the tackle, then he gets it back to Totham. Totham up the line, and Ugle takes the mark under pressure by Nicky, but in the defensive half here, the Magpies looking flat once again, the Maggies.
Well done to Ugle, courageous mark. Goes for the torpedo, it's a wobbler down centre wing. Stafford goes for it, bull-chested. Hit the chest, couldn't take the mark. He bent down to try and pick up the footy, confronted by Johnston, and he saw the ball over the boundary line. No free kick for a head-high tackle there, and Stafford gives him a bit of a stiff arm on the way through to say, hey, young fella, don't do that again.
And Johnston, he just absolutely ignored it.
Yeah. Boundary throw in now. Johnston in. Stafford, he got the footy after the ruck contest. Handball was poor. Sutton gathers high up and under, just no penetration at all. Newman up high, punches it away, straight over the boundary line, just kills the contest immediately, and they'll reset again. Ticking away here, 17.5 gone in this last quarter. 94 plays 39, Wanderers in command, and they really just can't wait for this final siren to go.
I like Brodie Newman today. I think he's been a good player for Wanderers. They've had a lot of good players, but he's been good.
I think he won a best and fairest down in the South Australian footy, Charlie. So good mark there by Levi Grigg. After he left the season here for Wanderers, he went down there and apparently had a really, really good season. I know he won an award. Grigg kicks it towards goal, and that bounces through only just. They were celebrating before it actually got through. So Grigg has 3 goals for the game.
What an effort.
And Magpies have their 3rd of the quarter.
So good. He's got 3 of their 7 goals, which is a pretty good performance.
It's a fair effort, isn't it?
Yeah.
And he's a midfielder that goes and has a rest up forward, Charlie. So yeah, we just seem to be enough big targets. Rowbottom's going to go down to full forward now, but Rudy Ruddock has just not had a game that will like to remember.
Hasn't been enough out of Stafford, hasn't been enough out of Corbett. They were the ones that they started with at full forward and centre half forward.
Yeah, and Stafford had many opportunities. He drops quite a few marks, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does.
Kernoff, with his first game, he's in.
Quality of the player that he is has hardly been cited.
Up from Alice Springs, yeah. Good player.
Corbett in the ruck contest, wins that down, tries to go to Guthrie's, taken away by Bo O'Connell. Handballs to Keenan Smith Thompson, caught in a tackle, loses the footy. Guthrie gathers, goes back to Williams. Williams now kicks inside, attacking 50, and the mark taken by that man we were just talking about, Toshi Kunoff. That's his first contested mark this afternoon, I dare say. And he's taken that 25 metres from goal, 45-degree angle. We've got a very good look at it from our commentary box here. Kicking to the airport end, right of centre. He's on the grandstand side in the shade. Number 23 on the back. 2 steps, he lopes in, and he kicks it behind, Charlie. Just a little bit too casual and too quick.
Yeah.
So a behind on the board for the Palmerston Magpies. Should have been a goal for the player, the quality of Toshi Kunoff. 7-4-46 is the score for the Maggies. Wanderers 14-10-94, almost 20 minutes gone.
It should have been a goal after a courageous mark in between a couple of good defenders down. Let's go down to the boundary line and see if we can get something from Anthea.
Yeah, one thing I've noticed actually from Wanderers, every player that is coming from the field is absolutely gassed. I think that goes to show that although they're leading by a fair bit, they're really putting everything that they've got into this game compared to Palmerston, where they're coming off and they're not looking too bad.
Yeah. Good pick up there, because I thought they sort of took the, sort of backpedaled a little bit, Wanderers, to start this quarter, but you're right. I think Magpies maybe just to put a little bit more effort into this quarter, fortunately for them. And Flanagan tackles his opponent. The umpire says no free kick there as it trickles out of bounds. So it's going to be a boundary throw-in on the pain of 50, the far side for the Mucks.
Well, 3-1 in the quarter. Tash, you must be happy.
The quarter's not over yet. It's in the red time. We've just gone on 20 minutes here. Boundary throw-in, Ruckman go at it. Magpies come out with the numbers here. Chrissy Williams, the captain of Magpies, dances around. A good shepherd put on, kicks it towards centre wing. Clarence Baird's been moved up the ground. He's spent most of the game in defence. He dropped the mark he should have taken, gives it back to the Ruckman. Running through is the goal kicker for the Maggies, and Levi Grigg at the back. Rudy Riddick can kick his second, needs to dance around, he does, he kicks it to Toshi Kernoff, and a good intercept mark by Johnson. Was running the other way but put his mitts out and took the mark. God, he's had a brilliant game.
Another brilliant game indeed from Johnston. Really like what we see from him. He's kicked ball out wide to Keenan Smith-Thompson, off to the run of Bo O'Connell, who hasn't stopped this afternoon. Williams sticks up the one hand and blocks it momentarily. Handball comes out from Cabillo to Totham. Totham up to half forward. DeSantis is there, gets rid of it by hand and goes to Fijo. Fijo, the long kick into the forward pocket, goes to Stanley Tipalora, who was standing there unmarked. So Tipalora has an opportunity from about 45 metres out, 15 to 20 metres in from the boundary in that right forward pocket.
Hasn't got a goal today, but he has kicked some goals, hasn't he, for Wanderers?
He sure has.
He's presented well, and he's taken a defender out of the play.
He's worked hard today.
He's played his part.
So Stanley Tipalora, can he hit the scoreboard here? The number 22 for the Eagles at the almost the 22nd minute mark of this last quarter. Kick on its way. It's off target. Simpson's there. Can't take the mark. Close to the behind post. And will be a boundary throw-in for the Eagles, right next to that left behind post.
And Simpson runs straight in to do the ruck work, which is good play by him. He's the big tall man down there.
And Ann only woke up very late to that Simpson was at the back, and it was a sprayed kick, so he was lucky to get away with that. Otherwise Simpson would have taken an uncontested mark. Pushed in the back was Buckland. The umpire lets it go. Cole's taken to ground. Wanderers get it out. Jerome Motlop's going to kick a goal for Wanderers. So Jerome Motlop has his first of the game, and Wanderers have their 15th goal of the game. They have absolutely smashed the Magpies here. The Battle of the Birds. And the Eagles have won definitely by a massive margin. So it's 54 points in front. The Eagles. Brilliant game all over, and no pressure put on Charlie King whatsoever, but the 3-2-1 would be a hectic one today, Charlie.
No, I've got him already.
You've got him already?
He's
got him marked out, because there's just been brilliant performers. It's been a great team effort, I feel, from Wanderers.
Look, you know, they often say that great teams are built on defence, Charlie. And Wanderers is one of those teams.
Yeah.
They have got a really solid defence.
And a good running defence.
Yeah.
The thing is, Wheatra hasn't had a big impact in this game.
And there's no Mitchell Taylor.
It's Johnson, it's Newman, and it's Warwick Williams.
Yeah, it's amazing. You're exactly right, Tash. There's a 666 warning happening here. What it appears like. There's a player missing here on centre wing. Rowbottom goes up, wins it down, misses Chris Williams, goes back in for a second crack, loses it out to his opposing ruckman in Nicky. Nicky goes the long bomb down inside 50. Annan charges hard at the footy. Simpson on his hammer, and he takes it over the boundary line for a boundary throw in. 25 metres around in that right forward pocket of the Eagles.
I might just ask Anthea if she's eyeing someone off for a post-match interview. She managed to get us Jackson Calder the other day after he kicked 10. Anthea?
Yeah, I'm tossing up maybe Shillabeer. Snagged a few goals and see what we can do.
Okay.
And on the sound of that siren there, that is it. Wanderers, what a win it is for them, as Natasha just said. The Battle of the Birds, and they win it 15-10-100 to Palmerston's 7-4-46. Charlie King, a 54-point ball game. I came here expecting so much this afternoon, really looking forward to the way the Maggies took this game on this afternoon, and I have to say that is a disappointing result for the Magpies and their fans.
Right, and Wanderers set it up in that first quarter, didn't they? They kicked 7 goals, and from that point on, they kicked 8 goals to 5. So it was a much closer thing for the last 3 quarters. And Palmerston won the last quarter, kicked 3 goals, 1-2-3. So they can take some positives out of this, but they did let it slip in that first quarter. And Wanderers